Today, we kick off our Season's Creepings triple feature with Eli Roth's 2023 Grindhouse-inspired holiday whodunit. The oven is set to 350, the death count's set to an entire town, and leftovers refer as much to cranberries as they do to cadavers as we stock up on Black Friday. Who's laughing?
I'm sorry. That was me. I'm sorry.
I was actually doing well.
I know. I fucked it up. I'm sorry. Can you start from the top? You start from the top.
Take it from the top, eh?
Take it from the top.
The oven is set to 350, the death count's set to an entire town, and leftovers refer as much to cranberries as they do to cadavers as we stock up on Black Friday deals, death, and denial to meet the vengeful, plastic-masked John Carver in Thanksgiving.
Give us some spunk.
Yeah, pretend John Carver is chasing you. Oh, I got it. Oh my God, Casey. Channel the Dark and the Wicked. We're in Plymouth, Massachusetts. Say it in your accent. It's a comeback. Do it. You have to. Say
in
it
my
in your
Boston accent.
In your
you
Boston accent.
Yes.
You got to do it.
That you guys say is Long Island?
It's not Long Island.
It's one or the other.
I had somebody listen to it the other day and they told me that it was a Boston accent.
Bring back the Massachusetts Long Islander.
I can believe that a Long Islander might move to Boston.
Was that the accent that they had in the movie? It was all over the place.
The killer finds the accent at the end.
That was the reveal.
That was the reveal. So somebody talk to me in a Boston accent so that I can do a Boston accent.
It's like,
hey, I'm from Boston.
Not you.
It's a lot of ahs.
Duncan's
a lot of ahs.
There's no aw. That's more Long Island or New York. It's ahs.
Okay, but that's in Boston. Is that Long Island?
Eli Roth. I don't know.
Eli Roth.
223 Grindhouse inspired holiday.
Eli Roth.
Yeah, Roth. Anytime you say like an R, it's ah. That would be a good Boston horror movie. But it's really just called R, but you pronounce it like a Bostonian, so it's
How would you say today?
Today. Damn it. I'm just channeling Christopher Walken no matter what I do.
You're listening to How I Met Your Monster, a podcast that explores the introductions to your favorite movie monsters. My name's Zach.
I'm Danny.
And I'm Casey.
And together we dive into the world of horror to find out how filmmakers have introduced us to our favorite monsters time and time again. This is How I Met Your Monster.
You opened it. We came.
I met him 15 years ago. I was told there was nothing left.
Who are you? Explorers in the further regions of experience. Demons to some, angels to others.
Call you Meatloaf?
Welcome to How I Met Your Monster, the show where we discuss the introductions to your favorite movie monsters. In this episode, we kick off our newest triple feature, Season's Creepings, with Eli Roth's, that's a tough one, Eli Roth's 2023 holiday slasher, Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. But, you guys, we are not doing this alone. To help us bring in the holiday season, we are joined by the wonderfully talented musician, Brooke Surgener.
I'm here.
Who is you, Brooke? You are also becoming quite the regular guest on our show.
I feel so honored, and I feel seasoned.
Seasoned, like the seasons, or like the turkey.
Like the turkey. I was trying to add into the one-liners, but yes, thanks for having me back.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm getting the hang
thanks
of
for being
it,
back.
Yeah, and I've just been watching a lot of scary movies lately too, so I feel ready for this.
Yes. Well, we love having you here. It's always fun. You joined us for Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Ice Cream Man.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of food-related episodes.
What was
Texas
food-related in
Chainsaw,
Texas?
Ice cream, and Thanksgiving.
Well,
it's like they're like cooking. It's like meat. They're like cooking the.
Yeah.
They have their barbecue.
And they eat people.
Thing, so.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Food is a stretch, but
the ice cream one was something. I was really excited to watch this one, and I put it off until just before we started. So
okay.
This morning.
I'd seen it before.
Uh-huh.
And I remembered it being very like Scream kind of,
Yeah.
but it in a really good way. We
Mhm.
I haven't seen anything like that done well in a minute.
Sure.
So revisiting it, I was like, oh, there's a lot of stuff that I missed, but I remembered the monster. So watching it from the beginning all the way through, trying to count like when the monster was, when we seen him.
Yeah.
It was just like nonstop. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. There's so many characters in this movie, and yeah, it gets to be a lot.
I do have a quick question before we jump in. When it comes to like whodunits like this, do you guys like to, and maybe it's just like subconscious, you can't help it, but like, do you guys like to play along with a whodunit and try to actively guess who it is? Or do you just, are you more of a casual viewer?
No,
Yeah.
oh no, I try to guess. And I
Okay.
remember
Did
the
you
exact
guess?
moment. Oh yeah. When I knew who it was in this movie.
Like the first time you watched it?
Yeah, Cody and I,
Okay.
my brother and I went to see it in theaters.
Yeah.
And when Jess and who's her boyfriend?
Scuba? Oh,
Scuba?
No. There's like
that's
just
Bobby
Buffer.
is the
Bobby with the good hair.
Bobby with the good hair, and then there's Ryan.
Okay, so Bobby. When Jess and Bobby are at the sheriff's office and
Oh,
he
yeah.
says
yeah.
he says you don't know who you can trust. My brother
You're
and I
like-
both looked at each other and said, it's him.
Oh.
But it's
I
just
had
funny.
a feeling up front. I was like, they cast Gina Gershon and Patrick Dempsey. They're both in the opening scene,
Uh-huh.
and Gina Gershon just died. I think.
Yeah,
it's
see,
Patrick
I
Dempsey.
didn't even
Okay.
pick up
Well,
on
there's
that.
a scene actually. I wrote it down. All right, I'm jumping. No, I'm jumping ahead. I'm just gonna say it now.
Okay.
In the opening, when we first meet Patrick Dempsey, when he
Don't you dare say what you're going to say, because I want to
Zach,
say it.
Yeah, cut all of what I just said out. We will get to it. I'm jumping
Yeah, we'll
way
get
ahead
to
of
it.
myself.
We'll get to it.
I want to say it, Danny, because I know what you're talking about.
Okay, but before we get started, I just want to remind anyone listening right now to make sure to follow How I Met Your Monster on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora. We're even on Sirius XM now. Anywhere you get your horror movie podcast, make sure to follow the show so you don't miss monsters and things like that. And if you are enjoying our show, we would love it if you could help us spread the word. One of the easiest ways to do that is by leaving a rating and a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. On Apple, you can like type cool things about us, but on Spotify, you just give us like a number rating. So we're just like,
They've taken away our name and given us a number.
yeah, we're just giving a
yeah.
number, but that's okay. We'll take
James
it.
Bond of movie reviews.
We'll take a rating on Spotify. And you can also follow us on all the major social media platforms because we post a lot of fun content all over the internet because we do not want you to forget about us. So
I should add to that.
that's why
If
we
you
do
are
that.
going to rate us, please just the highest rating.
yeah,
or get out of here.
There's an
Yeah.
maybe
option
if,
there.
if you
please
have
just do
like
the
some grievances with us, maybe like maybe
Privately
you could go
email?
as low as like a 4.8,
Yeah,
right?
I'd say
I don't
go
know. I don't know how you do that.
5.
Just go 5. And finally, if you are looking to impress your friends and family this holiday season with your extensive horror knowledge, you can bone up on the latest and greatest in the horror industry with a subscription to Fangoria magazine. Danny knows where I'm going with this.
I always get boned up when I'm reading.
But I was going to say, do you mean bones like bones because of horror? Or do you mean bones like boner because we're hard for horror?
I mean, if you're reading Fangoria and you don't get a boner,
What's wrong with you?
You're doing
what's
it
wrong with you?
Then you don't know how to read.
Yeah.
Brooke does
man.
not get a boner while she looks at Fangoria because she cannot read.
Well, it's safe to say that we like Fangoria, but there's not too many boners around here. It's fine. You can still enjoy it without getting a boner. Because some people, they might be older and they can't get boners anymore, but they still like
Oh
Fangoria.
shit! Yeah, that's not fair.
So we
Pop
don't
a blue
want
pill,
to.
read Fangoria.
Or also, if you're just looking for that perfect gift for the horror lover in your life, now's the time to check out all the cool stuff that Fangoria has to offer. Just head to shop.fangoria.com. Guys, I have to say, this is like the most professionally read Fangoria ad that I've ever done. So
Good job.
just
Because I
pointing that out.
kept talking.
Just head to shop.fangoria.com and enter promo code How I Met Your Monster at checkout for 20% off your entire order. You'll save more than a bag of bones on awesome horror merch, and you'll help support our show.
And by a bag of bones, he
Bag of
means
bones.
Bag of boners.
Bag of boners.
See, Casey and I have already started our trend of saying the same thing this episode. That'll be the theme, I feel.
So make sure to check out shop.fangoria.com, promo code How I Met Your Monster for 20% off, and you'll help support our show, How I Met Your Monster. Now, I don't want to forget to talk about this. So, Brooke, I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
It's more like a statement with a follow-up. You have new music out.
I do.
Tell us about
Question mark? Do you have new music out?
I do. I just put it out a couple days ago. It's called Got It Good. It's my new single. I've been working on new music for a while, and now finally it just takes so long to do it. We shot the music video a while ago. Casey is my dance partner in the music video. And it's just a lot of fun. So I'm really excited to just like share everything I've been working on. But yeah, it's called Got It Good. And it's like, I don't know, would you call it like Western folk indie pop? I don't even know what you would call that.
I love that.
It's just good.
It's just a good, it's a
just
good
good.
vibe.
That's
So
a good
listen
friend.
to it.
It's just good.
Just good.
It's just
We don't
good.
need to
It's
put a
good.
we don't need to put a label on it.
Thank you.
Where
It's
can
good.
our listeners find it?
You can find it on Spotify or wherever you listen to music.
Okay.
Same thing with your podcast. Anywhere.
Oh, okay, awesome.
You should listen to them simultaneously.
Yes,
Yes.
at
Like
the same
background
time. Hit
music
play.
to the
Do. YouTube. Follow my YouTube channel. I post my music videos there. Now I do vlogs. Casey loves that.
I love them.
She's loves that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, follow me on Instagram. You can see everything I've been doing, and I'll update that regularly. Let's
Awesome.
on Sulling. I update my Instagram regularly. Follow me.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, no, anywhere you stream music, you can find my new music, and there's going to be a lot more coming. So if you like it,
That's
stay
exciting.
tuned.
Awesome.
Did you
Now-
like it? Did you watch it? Did you watch the video?
I did. I
Okay.
did. I love it.
Did
I
you
love it.
smile?
I did quite a bit. I found myself smiling.
Good.
Yeah. I think I saw Casey on your back at one point,
Yeah.
Yes.
or vice versa. I can't
No,
remember.
jumped on
Something.
her.
Someone was
Yeah.
on someone's back. Yeah. good.
But yeah, Brooke,
Okay.
we're really excited to have you here, and we're really excited to talk about Thanksgiving, not the holiday, but
Yeah.
the movie about
Yeah.
the holiday.
Mhm.
And I want to know. So, Brooke, you already had talked about that you watched it before. You enjoyed it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Zach, you did not like it the first time you saw it.
I didn't. It wasn't that I didn't like it. I didn't love it the first time I saw it. I enjoyed it. I don't know if it was like a hype thing where you go into it and it's so hyped up and then you're like, okay, or if it was just. I felt like the first time around, and I don't know why I didn't pick up on this. I was so confused about all the security footage. They kept like they were so like interested in finding all this security footage, and I'm like,
Mhm.
why? Who cares? People died. You know what? And then this time around, I kind of got it because they were looking for like motives, right? Of like
Mhm.
what the killer is doing, because he's like getting revenge for people that they were trying to find connections between like the deaths and people. So I don't know. And I think like we had mentioned earlier somewhere how this was kind of like a Scream-esque type of movie. And I think I went into it with like this expectation.
You're like, where's
Um,
Ghostface?
Where's Ghostface?
Mhm.
This
So
isn't
I didn't
Scream.
not like it.
Okay.
It
Well,
just
how do-
wasn't my favorite, but I enjoyed it.
How do you feel about it now?
in general?
Same?
Yeah, I don't think my opinion changed. There's a lot of really cool things that I like about it. There are things that I'm like, okay. I did fall asleep at the end of it this time.
Great,
At the end of it this time.
Kind of like
Um,
after a Thanksgiving dinner.
Kind of like after
Yeah.
Thanksgiving dinner. And it was like right at like the big dinner scene at the end. I was kind of just like drifting off, but yeah, no, it's okay. It's
Okay.
good.
Okay.
It's good. I
okay.
would watch it again. I
appreciate
I'm
it
not,
for what kind of horror it is.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
you think it's going to be something different.
Okay, so Danny.
Yeah.
I give it a lot of credit for I was not sure because it feels like it almost, I don't know how to say this without sounding like a dick. Like all right. I'll just say this.
Danny, there's been so many boners in this episode so far. Just be a dick.
Be a dick.
You're right. Oh,
Be
yeah.
a dick.
I'll embrace I'm going to embrace the boner and just be
embrace
a dick
the boner
and just say,
Danny, you love embracing boners. Sorry. I'll stop. I'll be quiet.
There's nothing wrong with embracing a boner. But I was pleasantly surprised by how hard it went. That was not intentional, honestly. I was surprised at how hard it went on like the gore and effects, which I'm sure we'll talk a lot about.
Yeah.
You were surprised?
I was surprised because you know, I don't know, you see a lot of horror movies nowadays and you can kind of tell if it's going to go all in. Like if you see a movie like The House That Jack Built, just by, I mean, I guess we had Eli Roth, but Eli Roth has kind of dipped his toes into even PG, you know, like, so I wasn't sure where he was in his career. Like, is this more of a commercial horror, like a Scream, where even Scream kind of pulls its punches, you know, a little bit. And I don't mean that as like a detriment to the movie. I just mean like, I think it has to because of the type of movie it is. So I thought Thanksgiving would do the same, where things might be suggested or we would see just enough of something. But this one like lingers on some pretty insane practical effects. And I was like, I mean, I was like looking away a lot because I'm so sensitive, but I was like also golf clapping.
The
I appreciate
practical effects were really good in this one.
Crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
One of my favorites is the freezer when she pulls herself off the freezer door and like her fingertips come off with her cheek.
Oh, I hate it. I'll tell
you have a favorite
when we get to it.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll just say it now. My favorite is during the parade when the thing goes through the guy's head.
In his nose.
And like his nose
his
like
nose.
lifts up.
Yes.
It's like it's like has a latch. It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
and what are the kids?
like,
the girls are screaming. Are they like, Grandpa?
Wake up, Grandpa! Wake up!
Yeah.
Blood is spraying them in the face.
Which, you know, I think about that like with kids in horror movies, and it's like a lot of times you can tell that they filmed it without them like
totally
seeing what the thing is or whatever, but they were just like right there, just like.
I wonder if,
do you know what I mean?
I wonder if it was like Eli Roth's kids or something, because it was such a specific like.
Yeah,
he doesn't.
They're screaming. Yeah,
it was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was brutal, but that was a good kill. That was, and yeah, I didn't notice the nose the first time I watched it, but then on this time, it's so funny. It just like hangs over to the side.
What about you guys? What was your favorite
practical
kill? Do you want to save it?
We can
save it.
We can maybe we'll talk about that during our favorite reveals.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Well, Casey, what about you? You've seen this how many times?
I don't know, a few.
Okay, so it still holds up like every time? Like you still love it? Yeah, okay.
So you went back for leftovers.
I mean, honestly, too, like Thanksgiving. What do you have with Thanksgiving? Blood Rage.
Yeah.
What else?
Yeah.
You know?
The turkey
I mean,
one.
Thanksgiving, but that's like...
Thanksgiving.
It's like goofy.
Yeah, so like this is the first like real...
Yeah, I guess there aren't any other ones, are there?
There's not very many. Like Blood Rage was still corny as fuck. You know what I mean? It's old, like 80s, stupid. And this was corny too, but it was supposed to be, that way. But yeah, I just think it's awesome that it's like a Thanksgiving movie.
Yeah. Well, you know, we mentioned in our intro that this was based on the trailer that Eli Roth made for the 2007 movie Grindhouse. So Eli Roth and his writing partner on this, Jeff Rendell, I guess they've been friends since they were kids, and they've had this idea for Thanksgiving since they were like teenagers. But it wasn't like fleshed out like this movie. It was more just like, oh, what if, a guy gets his head cut off during a Thanksgiving Day parade and he's running around like a turkey with their head cut off. Yeah. Stuff like that. And so I was listening to Eli Roth talk on Chris Jericho's podcast. I'm not a general listener of Chris Jericho's podcast. I've never actually heard it before until doing research for this.
Zach, is that
episode.
A Chris Jericho poster?
No, it's two Chris Jericho posters.
Oh, sorry.
But yeah, I guess he had this idea since they were kids. And then when Quentin Tarantino approached Eli Roth to say like, hey, I'm making this movie Grindhouse. Like I want these fake trailers. Eli Roth was like, I've already got it ready. Like it's Thanksgiving. Like let's do it. And so really it's just a series of kills that they were doing.
Yep.
And they tacked on 2 extra shooting days to the end of Hostel 2 to make
to do the trailer.
to do the scenes for the
I didn't know
trailer
that.
for the Thanksgiving trailer. But then up until then, like they couldn't figure out what the story would be to like, because they were really just like putting in filler to get to these cool kills, and that he ultimately didn't want to do that, and so it took a while to get where it needed to be. But
I was surprised to see almost all, if not all, of the kills that are in the trailer in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, like even the one thing I was like, they're not gonna show the person
the trampoline
as the. Well, yeah, I guess that
turkey,
too. The trampoline and the turkey scene. I was like, "There's no. How do you even get away with it?" And I could see how they did it in the trailer. It's much more like offensively graphic, I guess, for a broader audience. Whereas this one, it's as delicate as you could be to shoot what you see on screen. I guess,
pun intended. It's done tastefully.
Ooh.
Yeah,
see what I did?
That's good.
So, guys, Casey, I know you're a big Eli Roth fan. Brooke, are you a big fan of Eli Roth, or is he just like?
I like him. I feel more familiar with his work because of Casey.
Okay.
Other than that, like I just was like, oh, so like Inglourious Bastards, it's Eli Roth with like the bat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
so,
also
like,
hot as fuck.
So he is, but it's something that like I honestly did not like think of. Again, even him being attractive till Casey like pointed it out, like, and then you're just like, oh, he's kind of like fucked up. Why do I like him?
What is wrong with me? Oh my god.
Maybe that says something about me, but us.
Well, you're in good company.
But so now I'm more aware of his work, and I actually wanted to ask like suggestions for like more Eli Roth like movies that I should check out.
So
I'm looking at his IMDb and I'm realizing there are quite a few blind spots for me, especially with a lot more of his recent stuff. Like I've seen Cabin Fever, the Hostel movies. I mean,
Knock Knock,
the Thanksgiving short,
Brooke,
and I'm
Knock
realizing
Knock would be like a
didn't
neat
like
movie.
Knock Knock.
No,
I didn't know.
like
we watched that. That was stupid. Wait,
the
I
Green
think
Inferno.
So.
The Green Inferno is really disgusting, like Hostel.
Didn't see that.
Yeah.
See, I can watch like disgusting though. Like, that doesn't bug me.
Well, I know. I just
and Green Inferno is basically like a Cannibal Holocaust movie, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's more like so like Cabin Fever is. Cabin Fever is probably my favorite Eli Roth.
See,
movie.
I didn't realize that he did that. I mean, maybe Casey's pointed that out to me before, but I didn't remember that. And that's like something I remember from my childhood. And I'm like, oh, why did this movie stick with me? And there's just like certain scenes in it.
It's so gross.
When she's shaving her legs.
listened to your guys' episode on it too. And I'm just like,
we don't have an episode on it.
You don't?
No.
I swear you did.
No.
Did I just lie?
Do we have a movie like that?
Lied.
I swear you did. I swear there was a conversation.
You've
never mentioned about it? Because
no, I'm sure
we must have.
We talked about it.
Yeah,
we must have. I'm sure we have too.
But Cabin Fever is like
I was lying. Why don't you have an episode on it?
I'm a good friend. I listen to your podcast. Okay.
I do listen to your podcast.
I know.
So.
But Cabin Fever is like gross in like there's like this disease going around and it's like over the top gross.
So disgusting.
Green Inferno is over the top gross, but it's more like based in reality because it's like a tribe in the a certain part of the world where like has not like been touched by Western civilization, and so like they've got all these rituals and like they do some nasty shit to people.
Cut off women's clitorises.
Is that this? No. Oh, okay. No, I am familiar with that. I will have to watch it again because I do remember some. As much as I remember your guys' episode on Cabin Fever.
There is a scene.
Pretty intense.
Yeah, there's a scene in the Green Inferno. It's like the only, other than the Revenant when he's getting torn apart by a bear, it is the only time.
Don't tell me about it.
I'm not. I'm just gonna say it's the only time I've ever turned away from the screen. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I saw it in the theater, and there was like 6 other people in the whole theater.
That being said, A House with a Clock in Its Walls is like a like children's fantasy movie that Eli Roth has done that's really fun and cute.
I still
Really?
haven't seen it. I feel like
Yeah.
that's a movie I would love.
It has Jack Black in it.
Mm-hmm.
And isn't Kate Blanchett in it?
I don't remember.
I remember
But
seeing
yeah,
the
that
trailer
was-
and being surprised. I was like,
that
what
was
is this
fun.
cast? I was like, this looks fun.
Yeah, she is. Kate Blanchett.
Oh.
And Kyle MacLachlan. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But he also did the new film Borderlands based on the video game.
I didn't watch that. I heard it
Um,
wasn't great.
Well,
okay.
it might not
I don't know
be.
anything about Borderlands, and so I didn't check it out. But
So here's my thing. Like, I think that people go in, and this isn't just because I like Eli Roth. This is just video game movies in general. People go into them really expecting something, but like,
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm okay with it if they're just fun. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like the Resident Evil movies are horrible.
Yeah,
They're
but
fun.
they are fun.
You know, like-
I think why I didn't watch it was because the trailer looked like they were trying to do a Guardians of the Galaxy thing.
Totally.
Exactly.
Well, it is
Yeah.
very similar though. Borderlands the game
Yeah,
is
but
even down to like the music cues.
you're right.
And,
Yeah, it just was like
they're vault hunters, and so they're traveling all over to different planets to try and find stuff, just like Guardians of the Galaxy. So
oh, really? It's like
Yeah.
a planetary thing. I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Mhm.
Okay.
and it's really gory.
I knew it was like kind of
Just kidding.
out there, but I didn't know that it was like.
yep.
I thought it was all based on Earth.
Nope.
But
Pandora
he
is
actually
the
shot
main-
Borderlands. Eli Roth filmed Borderlands before he filmed Thanksgiving.
I was gonna say
Wow.
during COVID.
really.
But there was like the VFX and everything took so long that they filmed that, and then
That makes sense.
that's why it took like a couple years to come out because they were doing all that stuff.
That makes me feel better about releasing music.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We
Like
shot-
sitting on it for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, but yeah.
All right. Well, are you guys ready to head to Plymouth, Massachusetts?
Whoa, Weddy.
To,
Wait, that was my.
Was that your Boston accent?
I'm Weddy, guys.
We
I'm
are
Weddy.
I'm
Weddy.
ready for some Thanksgiving, you guys.
Weddy for some Thanksgiving. Pasta mashed potatoes.
Oh my
My
god.
appetite is full. I am ready for some food, you guys. Crank up those ovens. Let's chow
Danny?
down.
So cute.
I don't really like Thanksgiving. Watch this Eli Roth Thanksgiving. I think I'm starting to like Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I think
Oh
we're
my
ready.
gosh.
We are ready to go to Plymouth
Oh, we're ready.
to meet John
Okay.
Carver.
All right, let's do it. Okay, so for Thanksgiving, we have, let me tell you here, our reveal count sits at a wild 13 official reveals with at least 4 honorable mentions sprinkled in throughout. There's a lot of characters in this movie, a lot of times that John Carver pops up. And so, Casey, this was your pick for our Season's Creepings triple feature. Could you please read the synopsis from IMDb?
After a Black Friday riot ends in tragedy, a mysterious Thanksgiving-inspired killer terrorizes Plymouth, Massachusetts, the birthplace of the infamous holiday.
Okay.
I would like to comment, make a little observation, because we keep mentioning Plymouth, and I was like, what is it about Plymouth that's like so specific to the holiday of Thanksgiving? And it's Plymouth Rock. And I'm surprised there wasn't like something to do with the Plymouth Rock, like someone getting killed with a rock, or maybe the finale happening on a rock.
Well, McCarty is on his float in the parade is Plymouth Rocks, and he's playing the guitar.
Oh, that's even more clever.
Yeah,
Like
I
Plymouth
loved
rock and roll.
his character, McCarty.
Dude,
He was just like,
I don't want to. I have things to
ridiculous.
say about all of the characters that I need to speak on before we start.
Okay, yeah, we'll get to him, but so do you think that do you guys know anything about the number 417?
Mm-mm.
Does it have anything to do with Plymouth or Thanksgiving? Because in that opening shot, when he goes up to the address is 417, and then they do another angle of the shot where they're talking at the door, and 417 is like super prominent in the frame. And it's just his address, but like I didn't know if like they picked those numbers for a reason.
Meth is 417 is the slang term for meth.
Oh, okay. Plymouth, Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
So yeah, I don't know if it means anything. I just wanted to throw that out there.
No, that's just what I Googled it, and that's what it says. But
okay. I'm going to take a stab in the dark here. A quick Google search took me to Reddit, and there's too much information to connect all the pieces, but I'm going to say what I see here. So number one, this movie was shot in Canada, right? They made it look, they built their Plymouth town, whatever, in Canada. So it was based in Canada, or it was shot in Canada. Something about a working holiday visa is subclass 417, whatever that means. So something about working holidays, visas 417. The guy has to go to work on the holiday. I don't know. This is a fucking stretch.
Well, if you add 4, 1, and 7, you get 12. There's 12 months in the year.
Okay.
And one of those months is Thanksgiving.
One of those months is November, in which Thanksgiving is.
One of those months is Thanksgiving, and we always celebrate November.
Now.
You're gonna confuse all the grade schoolers who listen to this show.
They're gonna start saying
trying to learn their
October,
months.
Thanksgiving, December.
Yeah,
it's Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving for everybody except for Europeans.
Okay, so yeah, maybe 417 doesn't mean diddly, so that's okay. We can move on.
Diddly.
Diddly.
But guys, the Black Friday chaos.
Well, okay, so there's something that I want to touch on before that, and I know Dan does too.
Oh, okay. Okay.
When they give away who the killer is?
Yes. So I assume that this is the same part. And Danny, I'm sorry that I took this from you. Well, I didn't take it from you.
Watch, we're going to find out we're not talking about the same thing.
Might not be. So the very first scene in this movie, is that what you're talking about?
Basically.
Okay, mine is the very first scene in this movie.
I think so.
Where
I'm confusing. Like, was there another?
He's walking up to the house.
He's walking up to the house, but you can hear him breathing.
Oh,
like he's wearing a mask.
Oh,
and it's like the killer's POV, like we get later while he's actually killing people.
I like that because he's like putting on a show.
Yeah. Well, no, it's like, and then the doorbell rings and he's at the door, just normal with pumpkin pie. But
right. Sorry.
Yeah. No,
I mean, it's like he's like always wearing a mask, kind of. I mean,
that's that too.
Yeah, especially because he's going over to see a family who he is actually like having an affair with.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah,
not the family, but
that in
itself,
he's
already hiding.
Yeah, he's
who
already
he really is.
he's already like in a way.
Yeah,
but,
like you're talking like a metaphorical mask.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But I didn't catch that. Casey?
So I guess that would be an honorable mention, right? Because it's literally opens on the killer's POV, and then they try to reverse it as like we got you. But then he says, because now, all right, spoiler alert, if you're listening to this and you haven't seen the movie, I'm so sorry.
Spoiler alert.
But here's the killer reveal right now. It's McDreamy, Patrick Dempsey, Sheriff Newland. And
Damn, I didn't finish the movie.
Not only do we open up on the POV, like Casey said, when he gets to the door, it's played as a fake out. And then they mentioned they're having a conversation about cooking. And he says how he had to come here. But that he says he knows his way around an oven. Mm-hmm. And right when he said that, I was like, you just climbed to the top of my suspect list. And from there on, like I couldn't look at him.
But
I was
would you
like,
have thought that if you didn't know that someone was put in an oven?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's kind of like,
I don't know. It's one of those things where like he was so dreamy throughout a lot of the movie, and so like, how can I help? Like just anytime like there's an opportunity, it's like I'm here.
Well, he was a sheriff.
Yeah, there was something. It was just he was too good. Also, he's I'm going to spoil Scream 3, kind of.
Oh yeah, I just watched that.
Did you?
Yeah, and he was in it, and I was like, oh shit.
And it's a great appetizer to Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Because he is one of the top suspects, and he actually has some really great like I'm clearly a suspect scenes because he's very ominous. So it was nice to see him go here. You know, it's very satisfying for Scream fans, because you had even said, Brooke, that it's like feels very reminiscent of Scream.
Yeah.
So to have that, and to have that direct connection, and then to get the satisfaction of him actually being the killer, very cool. With that, Zach, take us away to
Right Mart.
Right Mart.
To Right Mart.
Why did I say it like that?
Right Mart.
Oh, Walmart. Right Mart. Just fucking Black Friday chaos. It's so gross. Just in terms of like, I mean, the violence, but it's like shit like that really happened before. It's happened in the past. But yeah, just some of like the fucking kills in this opening scene, like immediately the dude, the window breaks, the door breaks down, and the dude gets punctured in the neck with the fucking glass. Oh, can you imagine? Like you get pushed into that, and then like people are pushing you, and but I love that he still like goes to grab a waffle iron, and he's just like tumbling around, and then a lady like steals it from him while he's bleeding out on the ground. Oh my god! Yeah,
I love how funny this movie is about that. Everything in this movie is really exaggerated.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah,
it's like satire, but it is played straight in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I mean, that's the thing with like Black Friday. You see footage of it, and it makes my like blood boil. I'm like, why are we like this as a species? So then when I saw this, I was like, I'm gonna hate this scene. It's gonna just irritate me. But I'm so glad he went so far, because you could laugh at it, and you're like, it's almost like, I don't know, kind of a fucked up. It's what's the word I'm looking for? It's satisfying. It's gratifying. I don't know. Like there's something. It's very dark, obviously. Like I don't ever want to see someone get hurt like that. Yeah. But considering like the context that we have in reality, and then to see it in this kind of fictional way is very it's there's a word on the tip of my tongue and I can't find it, but I'm gonna say satisfying.
Okay. Now, have any of you guys been in one of those situations? Like back in the day when Black Friday was like a crazy thing, and like, you guys ever been there with people pushing and everything?
I was usually working.
I might.
Working.
I've never been in a Black Friday situation like that before, but also like, does Black Friday exist anymore? And like,
not really, because of the internet.
No, it's wild. I saw something. I saw a meme. Then it said, "Dear Black Friday, we all have flat screen TVs now. Can we just get affordable groceries?"
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, it's true. Like, there's nothing you really need anymore. But no, I've never. I remember Best Buy used to be really, really bad. Like the line would be crazy. But
no trampling.
Oh, well, one time, me and my family, we were gonna go to Grove City, which is an outlet mall. I know you all know that, but
Danny doesn't.
And no, where do you live, Danny?
San Francisco.
Oh, but
Danny, where are you from?
Where are you from?
Connecticut.
You don't tell people that you're from Connecticut nearly enough as you used to.
No. It used to be not even a badge of honor, just a badge of, I don't know.
A badge that you wore.
Yeah.
I haven't mentioned it in a while.
But we
the
drove
Constitution State
at like 8 p.m. at night to try to get to Grove City by midnight. And the traffic was so like, we were just stuck on the highway for hours. And then by the time we actually got to the exit, we were just at Grove City. We're like, let's just go home. Like, it's so insane.
That's wild.
And it's just like crazy. That's like, I don't think that would happen again now. But that was, you think it was exciting at the time, but it is like disgusting at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I worked in retail, up until like 7 or 8 years ago. I worked in retail a lot. So I was working on Black Friday all the time. Oh, I worked on Black Friday when I worked in food too. But when I worked in retail, I did, Black Friday all the time. And
yeah.
Like I worked at a movie stop in Florida and we opened at 3 a.m. It was so strange.
Is that the one you both worked at? Wait, no. You worked there. You met.
No, we met at Film Fest, which was where the video store that Zach managed.
Yeah. Which did not have Black Friday deals because it was rentals. Who's going to rent movies on Black Friday? Okay.
Yeah, but it's just
Back to Right Mark.
Black Friday always just freaked me out because it's like it's that it scares me. It's like that pack mentality, and then you start to like regress mentally, and it becomes pure like
Caveman.
I don't know. These like feral instincts come out to like get what you need. This technically like a survival instinct comes out, but it's in for a fucking television, and it's at the expense of other people. But I'm just glad that these people don't vote. Because can you imagine if people went to the voting booths who didn't care about other people but themselves?
Oh, that's just wild.
Yeah.
Like I
I
can't
think
believe
they did.
No, they didn't. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about, Brooke?
We can still disagree and be friends, guys.
Fuck.
I'm sorry. I was like, don't talk about politics, but
Well, I think a lot of this is going to come back in our real monster section. So let's move on for now. And I think we'll get back to some of this later. But let's talk real quick about Amanda's death, Gina Gershon. Dude, smacked with a cart, scalped with the fucking, you talk about like this being like, how you said Eli Roth like went all in on this and kind of made things like so over the top that they're kind of fun, whatever. Like her hair in the fucking wheels of the shopping cart getting like stuck. And then it was like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Then it's like slowly peeled. Oh, so gross. That was nasty.
I don't like it. I loved it, but I don't like it.
But yeah, that was an important death.
Yeah, it was actually.
Yeah. Which, we talk about spoilers and things. Before I saw this movie for the first time, it was somewhat spoiled for me a little bit because a friend of mine said, I saw Thanksgiving. The thing that I couldn't fully buy was that Gina Gershon's character was pregnant.
Yeah.
Because she's like, got to be like in her 60s, 50s or and it's like, there's no way she was pregnant.
Yeah.
And which we'll see later, like the ultrasound, like very pregnant. That baby was pretty big.
They don't mention anything about that earlier, do they?
No, not early on.
And then she was bringing her husband like leftovers.
Yeah.
We got another monster.
Yeah, there's a lot of monsters in here.
Yeah. And if we jump ahead a year to when the movie really gets going here, we are cut into Evan's video that he made that he put on YouTube.
Yeah.
And speaking of the dude who gets punctured with the glass and he's holding onto the waffle iron.
No waffles for you, bitch, or something like that, right?
Yeah.
No waffles for this bitch. He's dead. And then it cuts the graphic that says RIP to the victims. Dude, I love it. That was so funny. So we're getting a couple honorable mentions here in the next few scenes. We've got our killer watching Evan's video on the laptop. We see like the black gloves, but we don't really know more than that.
And he's in his lair. He's in his
little lair. He's got the newspaper clippings posted up all over as you have in a lair. And then we get the kids in the diner getting like texts that say like, oh, we got tagged in this photo of like a dinner scene. Right. But they don't really know what's going on. They're kind of, they think someone's just like playing a prank on them. Right. And we also get like a fun little Michael Myers-esque moment at the diner where Jessica, who is the daughter of the man who owns Right Mart, she looks out the window and she sees a guy standing there in this John Carver mask, which we were told was the first governor of New Plymouth, Massachusetts, something like that, like the colony back in the day. And he's kind of standing out there with this mask on and then he's gone. So it's kind of creepy. But fun fact, that waitress who was in Right Mart, and she's also the waitress at the diner.
Lizzie,
is that her name? Lizzie? That actress is actually a blood relative of the real John Carver.
Huh.
Wait, his name was really John Carver?
His name was really John Carver. He was a real man. Yes,
he was a real person.
Yeah.
I was going to ask about that, and I was like, all right, Danny, don't get too like,
it's a movie. It's just a really great coincidence.
Yeah, in that the Chris Jericho podcast that I listen to all the time.
And Chris Jericho knows a lot about Thanksgiving.
Favorite podcast.
My favorite podcast. Eli Roth was talking and he said like he was so surprised that like that was actually a man, John Carver. And he's like, what like horror movie miracle is this?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
His name was actually John Carver.
Can you believe it
We
hasn't
can
been
use
done
that, like,
before?
yeah.
Well, that begs
Yeah.
the question: if John Carver wasn't the guy's real name, would we still be carving turkeys, or would we have found a new tradition for Thanksgiving?
Oh, well, would we still be? I think they'd still be like eating turkeys,
But would we say carving or would we say cutting?
Yeah.
Or
And also, they said that one of the big was something that's left off on many dinner table on Thanksgiving are like lobsters and seafood because you're right by the ocean.
oh.
So maybe had it not been for carving turkeys because of John Carver, the I don't know, the go-to food for Thanksgiving would be the image that you associate with Thanksgiving might be a lobster.
no thanks.
So,
Oh, God.
Chew on that, people.
Yeah,
Oh,
man, can you
God.
imagine going to Red Lobster for Thanksgiving?
No.
I'm
The
mad about
smell
it.
of all the seafood.
Just
Oh,
butter.
I love it.
Oh, but
Butter's
that's
good.
Casey,
That's
do you remember when we made those mashed potatoes? Those garlic mashed potatoes, like with like real garlic. Do you remember this?
No.
We made garlic mashed potatoes, and it was so much garlic that like we were sitting on the couch afterwards, and I'm not kidding. There
You
was
could just smell
garlic,
it.
like just like reeking from like our skin. And we were just sitting there on the couch watching TV, like yeah. Oh man, it was.
I love that this
We were
episode
so
is going to be so full of food talk.
Did we enjoy them?
Yeah, yeah.
It was garlic mashed potatoes.
All right. I just checking. All right. That's cool. That's fine.
I know. I was like, where are we going with this? Because too much garlic is always the perfect amount of garlic. So-
Right.
Yeah.
We were watching
Yeah.
like a food thing, and then and they had a recipe for garlic mashed potatoes, and we're like, we should do that, and it was like insane what we did.
Well, it was insane what we did.
I just picture that scene in The Lost Boys where they're like getting ready for the attack at night, and like they have this big bag of garlic, and he's just got that big hammer, and he's smashing the garlic.
That's
That's
what we were
Brooke
doing.
and Casey in the kitchen, just be like,
Making that
mashed
happen.
potatoes, garlic.
So if it was seafood, as long as garlic's involved, we can do that.
Okay, yeah, a little garlic butter. Yep.
Ooh.
Okay, so back to
I think we're
Back
about to go to our
the-
very first monster reveal of the movie.
yeah, the diner sequence with Lizzie, the waitress.
Yeah.
We get some cool like sneaky stuff.
Mhm.
Like she's turning
Yeah.
off the lights, and then she sees the mask, and when she goes to get it, John Carver's like standing in the kitchen, and then like
Mhm.
as she crosses the frame, he's gone, which is
Mhm.
fun. But he just goes for it. Like she goes in that back room, jump scare, he pops out, cuts her hand, I think,
Mhm.
and then like dunks her in the water, and like he knew what he was doing. Like he's like,
Well, yeah, there's a lot of like, where is this going? What is the goal? Is he going to drown her? No, he's not going to drown
Yeah.
her. He's putting her in the freezer. No, he's not putting her in the freezer. He's just putting his face against the freezer. And it keeps
Yeah.
escalating in ways that I genuinely was like, where are we going? Why is it just keep
Yeah.
getting grosser?
because like why didn't he just like have the axe with him? Is because he was like, oh, I'm gonna stick her here so she can suffer for a little bit and then go get my
Yeah.
axe and
Mhm.
well,
Well-
like we talked about in the opening of this episode when she fucking rips her face and hands off the
Well, that's
The
a
door
little
and
bit reminiscent of her kind of scalping Gina Gershon's character with her
Oh.
grocery cart as well.
oh yeah, that was her.
Oh,
Yeah.
so she's the one who killed her?
Well, she didn't. Yeah, I mean, I don't remember exactly because it was like really wild at that moment how she actually fell down and all that stuff. But her cart was
Yeah.
the one that had her hair wrapped in the wheels, and so
Yeah.
she's the one who scalped her.
Okay.
Oh god.
I wonder if people die in the order that they like fucked shit up. I guess not. No, because
No,
the
she'd
kids
be
are there
closer to
first,
last.
kind of like taunting everyone.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I think that was kind of a little taste of her own medicine there.
Oh, it was so gross. And then,
Yeah.
but she gets away enough to get outside, and he's in the car and slams her into the dumpster, and the dumpster lid comes down and cuts
So
her
it's
in
the
half.
lid that chops her in half.
Which is funny because like when I like all my experience with those kind of dumpsters, like working in like food places, they're always like plastic.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the lids are always plastic. So
This one's
I
metal
guess
with
there's
like
metal.
clearly a sword built into it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I just saw it
It's
as
like a
like
guillotine
the
dumpster.
the force from the car hitting it. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was just, it's so clean and so fast. I was like, oh, what?
I like
What?
that she's looking for her keys in her purse like this, standing like this. Oh, you can't see it. She's standing really stupidly.
Listeners, Casey is reenacting the scene, which you can watch now on Netflix.
Yes.
It looked better here. It was more entertaining.
Yeah. And then her body's put on the Right Mart sign.
Mm-hmm.
That was great.
There.
Yep. And like McDreamy, what's his name?
Patrick Dempsey. Wait.
Well,
Yeah.
Eric.
Sheriff
Eric?
Newland.
Sheriff Eric?
Sheriff.
Sheriff.
Newlon. Newlon.
Sheriff Newland. Okay. Yeah, he like sees the body like hanging up on the sign and he's like, cover that body. But like I can imagine like as he like walks off screen, he's like smirking, like you know, because he did.
He should have been like,
anyways.
who could have gotten that body up there? It's pretty impressive, right?
That must have been really strong.
Whoever did that.
Really strong.
Really strong guy.
It's just like a moment to appreciate it. It's horrific. But wow, credit where credit's due.
But speaking of him putting up the body on the sign, that leads us into our second reveal where they see John Carver on the security tape. And it's actually him with his deputy and like a detective, and they're looking at the tape. And they see him come into the restaurant. But then they also mention that like the Right Mart security footage also got that same guy putting the body on the sign. So, yeah. So anyways.
Yeah. Anyway.
Cool.
You're not going to tell me there's a consecutive monster reveal, are you?
Oh, am I?
There is. I was just trying to be funny.
Oh, I am going to tell you that, Danny, because now we're going right into Manny, the security guard.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes.
We're going right into his apartment.
This is this movie's very fun, actually. Like now that I'm
I like this one.
thinking back on it, this is a very fun movie. So
Yeah,
it is very fun. One thing I have to say about this is cat's name is Dewey.
mm-hmm.
Oh, is it?
Oh.
Is this a nod to Scream?
It has to be.
Oh.
Is this a
It
nod
has
to
to be.
Scream also that it's the officer and then the police officer is the person who's actually the killer in this movie? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, because
And
like
those two
after,
characters-
you know, at the end of this scene, like he takes care of the cat.
Yes.
Like he feeds him and then gives him a little pet, kind of like
That's so cute.
Officer Dewey.
Okay, so peeling this back to just like the story structure of this movie, like how, like what the story means, what the characters represent, you know, how everyone who's getting killed is kind of like they did horrible things, you know, like that's not to say they deserve to die, but like they are, it's like a revenge thing. It's like it's a prom night, and it's an I Know What You Did Last Summer, which we will talk about a lot during this podcast, by the way. There is like the classic screenwriting rule. There's literally a book about it called Save the Cat. And it's basically if you have a character who maybe is not the most surface level, you know, heroic kind of character, but they are your protagonist of the story, you should give them a save the cat moment, which is to say it doesn't literally need to be a cat, but it's like let the audience see that they are good at heart. Like say they see a cat like running into the street, they're going to save the cat. And so they may do something horrible, but we know deep down they're pretty good. In this movie, the killer literally saves the cat. I mean, feeds him, but, you know, make sure it doesn't starve.
Mm-hmm.
And when you find out the motive, it is a revenge story to kind of, you know, make people pay for people literally dying, like a whole, like they call it a massacre. So it begs the question, is the killer in this movie meant to be, at least maybe in Eli Roth's eyes, the protagonist, the hero of the story?
Well, I mean, technically, since he's the sheriff, he's the protagonist, right? Well,
that's true.
I guess Jessica probably is, but she's a main character. But yeah, I mean, and he's oddly specific too. Like when he goes to Yulia's house, he doesn't kill her dad or the officer that's there. He just tranquilizes them.
Yeah.
So you know, like
which would have been weird. I was wondering if he was going to kill the officer because I was like, isn't that like someone you work with? Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Oh yeah.
No, he was just there for he only did the certain
Yeah.
People he needed
Also,
to.
there's no way if he took on Yulia's dad that he could like win.
Oh yeah, that's why I trained him.
Dude is huge.
Yeah. He's like, fuck this, I'm not doing this.
Huge
Yeah.
and scary.
But sticking with Manny for a minute, like Manny, I don't think Manny deserved to die because yes, he like abandoned his post, but like what was he supposed to do as one security guard against all those people? Like,
You don't know what he could have done.
Because it was the sheriff's, he's the one who even gets called out. They're like, why would you only have 2 security guards on duty? Like, what were you thinking?
yeah. Well,
Guys,
so it's kind of like,
this is very January 6th.
very.
ooh. Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
think about it.
Mhm.
It was
Sorry,
filmed before January 6th. So
Is that
Was it?
like that?
Yeah.
Trump told his supporters that there was free waffle irons inside the Capitol.
I think they fucking would go in there. It's what they would do.
They're like, they're under Pelosi's desk. Get them. Sorry. That was fucked up. God, I hate fucking Donald Trump so fucking much.
I know. Me too.
It's so disgusting.
Really?
Anyways.
that's weird.
Yeah, weird. But Manny, even though I don't feel like he deserved to die, his death was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
This is a
that-
great sequence.
What
What
was
Yeah.
that? Like a blender?
Like a meat carver.
What do you
It was
call
like
that?
it was like a
It's electric
meat
knife.
carver. Yeah,
It's-
a meat
it was
carver.
a meat
right?
carver?
I think it's a meat carver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Electric knife.
Ugh, right in the belly. It's like,
Yep.
it's the equivalent of insult to injury. It's like pouring salt on the wound. It's the fact that it like is going up and down inside of him.
And then did you see when his dead body was there and like John Carver goes to leave and like the thing's still like twitching?
Moving.
The saw is like still like meh, 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 meh.
I did not notice that.
And then he like decapitates him with a wire or something.
Yeah.
What is the wire?
Hmm?
I don't know if there was like because everything he uses is kind of like a Thanksgiving meal sort of prep
Yeah.
tool kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what
I
it
don't
is,
know
but
if
like I've
it's
seen them in
twine.
movies before where it's like 2 handles with like a wire between them. I don't know what that is, but
I guess, I'm not sure if it's maybe a form of a garrote, but garrotes aren't usually used to like actually decapitate people.
What is a garrote?
A garrote.
A
They're used to strangle people. They have
Garrote.
Do you mean garage?
they're rope with like things that you can pull or twist to like tighten it around somebody's throat.
yeah, but like he twists around and then like yanks it and Manny's head like pops off. And then there's like this cool, like almost like a hero shot of John Carver standing there, like looking back towards the camera. It's just pretty cool.
Another hero reference, guys. Are we like?
God, I think John Carver is the hero.
Well, he
Casey's like.
So we get some, as the story progresses, we get some stuff with like Bobby, the ex-boyfriend who was a star pitcher. He got his hand crushed during the Black Friday sale. He kind of disappeared for a year and now he came back. So he's like a suspect. We're starting to see like all these different people who could be suspects.
The who's of the whodunit, if you will.
The who's of the whodunit. John Carver starts like setting the table, if you will, with like the dead bodies that he's killing. He's got like Manny's head on the platter, and Lizzie, the waitress, is back there. But in our next set of reveals, we are in, I guess, Hanover. Is that like the town next to Plymouth? They're like rivals, high school rivals. And we get one of our Thanksgiving grindhouse trailer kills in this next little bit. The one jock who like was in a fight with Evan at the beginning where they talked about, he gets his head just like twisted around, and that was really cool because you see like his neck skin kind of like twist like a,
and he's still
it's all
sitting there.
stretched out.
Oh, that's after the gym scene, right?
Yeah.
Right before that, the trampoline too.
Yeah, she's like, watch me jump on this trampoline. I'll do like a little
watch me jump on this
thing.
trampoline.
And then as he's sitting
what
there,
school is that?
the same school that has construction class.
Yeah.
No, but so like, and real quick, going back to the scene where they're working out, even though it's not part of the reveal. One of the things that I love about this movie is we talked about like the exaggeration of like the Black Friday thing, but it's also just all of the stereotypes in this movie are so
like,
exaggerated.
up.
It's so stupid. Like, Down to the fucking creepy older guy that hangs out with all the young kids. Like they have all of these.
I got
fucking-
notes for that one.
Yeah.
When we get there.
But that's what I mean. Like they just have all of these stereotypes around a high school, and it's just so funny.
Yeah, and what's this dude's name? The Hanover dude who gets his head twisted. Do we know his name? Lonnie. Yeah, like he's all like yelling at everybody in the gym to be like, yeah, you fucking pussy, like let's go. And then like as soon as he's like, everybody keep working, I'll be back, and then he leaves and everyone just stops and starts laughing at him.
Yeah, it's amazing.
The trampoline though, like that would be terrifying if that happened, because you just keep jumping up and down and you just that was a good one.
It was Brooke, good, but yeah, it makes me squirm.
Have you seen the fake trailer that was made for this? So the fake trailer that was made for this, the trampoline scene in the fake trailer, she does a split in the air.
Yeah, it's like
and lands, and it's in her.
I don't think they show it right. It's implied, but it's like right the second.
But yeah,
which is almost worse.
Oh yeah,
no, it is.
It's almost worse.
I meant the fact that you don't like they cut away right before.
Oh yeah,
like the image, like
yeah. I think getting stabbed in like your gooch is probably worse. You know.
Yeah,
that's how I want to go.
Now although this one might not be as bad, still like. Seeing her foot, like the knife go on the side of her foot, and then
just keep coming down on it. Yeah,
and she keeps coming down. Yeah, ugh.
And she lives.
And that's right. She lives. She's in the
because she's the one that's in the fridge later.
Oh, that's her. Shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And since we're speaking of the cheerleader right now, like I'll jump ahead to the dinner scene like later where he fucking puts the cork in her neck and twists it and like a bunch of blood comes out and he fills it with a cup he fills the cup with her blood. Oh my God. It's so gross.
Good stuff.
Not to get so distracted because we're going to come back to that, but in that scene, Scuba, they have a shot where they're really lingering on Scuba looking at the glass.
Mm-hmm.
And then they don't go anywhere with it. And I remember being like, what's he going to do with that? Like they really hold on it. And I wasn't sure if it was just like, it's gross. It's blood,
I think that it's just like he's kind of seeing the reality of what the fuck this guy is doing right now.
Okay. I was like, what do you do with blood?
There's a deleted scene actually where you find out that Scuba's actually a vampire.
Shut up.
And they were like, this is too crazy. Let's take it out.
I would like that. I just feel like we have too many Thanksgiving vampire movies.
Yeah. It gets a little crazy.
Enough.
So
but I like there was a nod. It was a nice reference.
A vampire that feasts on Thanksgiving, but he feasts on the people after they've had their Thanksgiving meals because they're too weak to fight back.
But if they eat too much garlic mashed potatoes, they're fucked.
That's how you kill them. That's the ending, the reveal. You find out like early in the movie, they set it up. She's making her special garlic mashed potatoes. And at the end, they bring it back because the vampire bites her. And he's like immediately like, we just wrote a movie, you guys.
Doing.
He fucking swells up. He swells up. Oh my God. Wait, you guys, is this gonna be like a Tusk moment where we just came up with a movie and then we're gonna talk about it and then we're actually gonna make it? Oh my God.
Don't we do that all the time?
Casey, we haven't made a movie in a minute.
I know we haven't. We were supposed to reenact Twilight.
A Bad Hair Day reunion.
That was so bad. That one was so bad.
Yeah, it was so bad that when I sent it to Zach, he said, "Don't put my name on that."
No, at that time it was the farting that did it for me. It was the farting.
Brooke farts in the
doorway. And then guys, we make a horror movie. I'll post it on my YouTube channel. Guys, check it out. It's youtube.com/Brooke
update
you
regularly.
Guys have to do an episode.
We'll do an episode
on the movie.
How I Met Your Monster.
I would love to do something like
just
that.
No farting, please. No farting.
one good fart.
I mean, like garlic mashed potatoes.
Yeah. You're gonna fart.
So maybe we don't have to do garlic mashed potatoes. That could like
scare off the vampires. It's like essence of garlic.
So dumb.
They like go in and you hear like a fart and then like there's two vampires and one of them like stops the other one like, don't go in, it's a trap. I can smell it.
They just choke on the garlic fart.
So bad.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Chokes on a garlic fart. Assuming vampires get like epitaphs, it's like John Smith choked on a garlic fart.
Oh god.
Oh, that's funny, you guys. Now I want garlic.
Oh god.
Yeah, all that garlic fart talk made me really want garlic.
Where are we at?
We're heading to where he takes Gabby and
Yes.
Yeah, so
yeah.
This is our 5th official reveal. It's really quick for us as an audience. I'm sure it was a lot longer for Evan and Gabby. But John Carver pops out of the hallway and like uses chloroform, whatever, and it's just really brief. But
did you catch the scream nod for this one? No.
Say what now?
They said we'll be right back.
Oh. Yeah.
I did notice someone says it, so maybe there's...
They say it a few times. People say it a few times.
Okay, I think the killer says it at the end.
Yes, he says it at the end.
One of my favorite scenes, or one of my favorite parts of that scene is when they're outside. Fucking Evan is so pissed about the game and he goes off to the field and they're like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm going to play. And Scuba's like, you can't play football alone, dumbass. He's like, watch me. But anyways, then Sheriff McDreamy, Sheriff is like talking to Jessica and who's the other girl?
Yulia?
There's Yulia,
No.
Gabby?
Jessica.
Gabby. He's talking to Jessica and Gabby and he says, okay, stick together. Don't split up. Just stick together. Immediately, not 5 seconds after he says that, they're like, okay, I'll go get Evan. You go inside the school. It's like, okay, you just told him you weren't going to split up.
Yep. And then Evan, he says, we'll be right back. And then they never come back.
Yep.
That's where I thought maybe I thought in this movie there were going to be like multiple killers.
I thought so too.
I feel like I wrote that down where I was like, it seems like there would have to be. Like,
yeah, like, and I assumed it was a revenge plot. Like, they're mad about who died. And I was like, maybe they got together as a community to be like, let's end this shit. Yeah, because even that scene when they did the chloroform, I was like, one of them is the killer because I feel like only one of them got chloroformed and the other one is helping.
Sure.
But I mean, that's reading too into it.
Well, I think it's one of those things like there's a huge suspension of disbelief in this where it's like, when you find out who is the killer, it's like, how could he be switching all this? Like it's,
I mean, yes and no, he's always there. So it's not like, he's always supposed to be there because he's the police officer.
I would just love to see like scenes put into these kind of movies where like the killer is changing clothes.
Well, I was going to say he also,
like really
he wears
quickly.
a jumpsuit, which is like super easy to get on and off over top of your clothes.
True.
He is resourceful. He's a sheriff. So he knows how to do certain things and what can be done and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah,
they kind of explore that a little bit in Halloween Ends, right? I won't spoil it if no one's seen it, but right with the killer.
I only saw it in the theater, so I would have to revisit that.
It was the first movie that came to mind where like you're kind of in the killer's POV outside of the killing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I should watch that again. I remember enjoying that. Fun. But in our 6th official reveal, Jessica meets the killer because she finds Gabby's phone, and when she like immediately locks it and sees John Carver's reflection in the mirror, and she's like, man, like that's some quick reacting right there. Yeah. But they have this cool chase through the school and she ends up in like, man, it's a fucking rich school because they have like a hair
no, it's
salon.
Like it has a tech school in it. Did you guys not go to have Votech?
Oh, Girard, my high school had Votech, but they had to go somewhere else.
Right. So I'm just assuming that like this school has Votech within it because if it's a bigger school, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But it's one of those cool like mannequin things where it's like you don't know what's a real head and what's a mannequin.
That was fun.
Yeah, so there's a little cat and mouse thing there, but Jessica gets away.
And this like fully establishes Jessica as our lead in the, I mean, we know she is, but like she's the only character who has been able to face off against John Carver and live to see another day.
Right.
Like Sydney.
Mm-hmm. She is the Sydney of Thanksgiving.
Okay, so Jessica and Scuba go to the McCarty party to get a gun. And I just love, like, McCarty's character is so just like icky because of like the way he hangs out with these high school kids, but just the actor who plays him, like I guess it's like charisma. Is that what it is? Or just like charm, I guess. I just love McCarty's character. He's just so funny.
You know who I thought it was for a second? I thought it was a cameo from Ty West.
Oh, okay. He kind of has that look.
And I'm assuming Ty West and Eli Roth are friends. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just guessing they must be.
Well, and Ty West actually pretty famously directed Cabin Fever 2. And then the studio changed it all. And so, well, the studio wanted it all changed. So Ty West famously was like, remove my name from Cabin Fever 2. Like, I don't want to be associated with it. I don't know if they did. I don't know if he's still credited as the director, but he doesn't want to be associated with it. So, but I never saw Cabin Fever 2.
That guy's house is terrifying. There's like 12-year-old kids like OD'd upstairs, and he's like, "Oh, just leave them alone." They've been like that for a day, and it's like,
that's horrifying.
I didn't even think about it until you pointed out, Casey, just like the over exaggeration of like people in high school and how there were those. It is like wild to think about when we were kids. If we hung out with somebody who was like 22, we're like, wow, they're so cool, and it's like, no, they're fucking weird.
Gross.
Like, why are they hanging out with these teenagers? That's weird.
Yeah, it's gross.
But you don't think about it when you're younger, which is...
I think that's why they did a good job with this character, because he is sort of like hard to read because you laugh at him. He's funny, and for a movie, he's entertaining. But then when you see in between the cracks, like you said, like
the house,
his like drug den, his house. And even when we first meet him, he's not only handing out alcohol, but, you know, we won't get political, but we were kind of what this movie has to say about what kind of where we are in the world. And he's like, we need to put a gun in every hand of every like citizen in this town. And he's like, and I'm going to be the guy to do it. It's like, ooh, wait.
Yeah, that's pretty gross.
Is it?
And I think it's safe to say we've gotten a little political on this show already.
Yeah, we've got political. Fuck Trump.
Yeah, just fuck him.
I had a conversation with someone recently because I was just like, as we all were just like upset. And they were like, well, just, you know, it is like at the end of the day, it is what it is. And obviously, like, this is how elections work. This is democracy for better or worse. So let's just like give it a shot. Let's see what happens. And I was like, no, I literally tried to have that stance last time. I was so upset. And I was like, I need to, for my mental health, I need to just be like, who knows? Maybe all of the talk was bullshit. And actually it's just going to be a very run of the mill term and whatever. Well, that didn't happen. So this time I'm like, well, this is some bullshit, you guys.
You know, in 2016, like that was a perfectly fine way to react, to be like, hey, let's just see what happens. Maybe we're overreacting. This is whatever. But in the fucking 8 years since then, he has just gotten so fucking crazy and just so much worse that it's like, this is just
the cult of it all is so disturbing.
At this point, there's no like, let's just see what happens. It's just like, this is horrible, disgusting, and wrong, and just.
And what's wrong with you? Why? Just why?
Yeah.
There's no
what
logical reasoning for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's so sad. I know it's like we want to have like a rational conversation about it, but I feel like every time I try to talk about it, it's less about politics. I would almost argue it has nothing to do with politics, and more just about like where is your head right now? And am I? And then I feel like an idiot because I'm like, wow, I really had such higher hopes for people just in terms of their values, just basic human values, and to see like that was the twist for me. It was like, I was wrong. I was wrong. Like I really had higher hopes. I would have never in a million years imagined people would stoop to that kind of level. And
I was talking to somebody about it on Wednesday, and we were just, and you know, it was like another woman, and she just said, because we were just like, we didn't know what to say. And she just said, I just feel betrayed. And I was like, that's the word. I feel betrayed because I just thought so many more people valued other people's lives, their rights. It's crazy. But
these people feel safe because because our president is an asshole, so they can be assholes. So it's given them a safe space to treat other people like shit.
And like, I get it. Like, that's our fucking country is based on that. That's what democracy is. It's checks and balances. You know, I think we have to have that, you know, like that's the beauty of, that's the beauty of America, is like the fact that we can agree to disagree and yet we'll still move forward for better or worse. Cause there's fucking 8 billion people on this planet. We're bound to have a difference of opinion.
Of course. Right. But that doesn't mean you treat people like shit.
The bummer is like in the past, and I'm not saying the recent past, but if you were going to lean maybe more to the right or more to the left, it was leaning. At least from my perspective, you're leaning there. Maybe, okay, you know, like maybe you prioritize this thing in your life, like whether it's taxes or whatever. And it's like, okay, I don't agree with that because I have my personal beliefs, but I can understand why you chose that path. Now I'm at a point where I get that that's still in your head, the direction you're leaning, but all things considered, you know, when you add everything else, this drop in values and how much it's affecting other people and maybe not affecting you, which is maybe why you don't have as much empathy. That's where I've drawn a line. I'm like, fuck it, I'm done. I'm so over this. I'm tired of trying to like play nice and and understand where
it just comes down to, you know, just basic human decency.
Yep.
Yeah. Which is just out the window for more than half of Americans. Is just disgusting. But you know what else is disgusting?
I'm happy to be in your guys' company.
Us too.
Well, yeah, you know what else is disgusting? That 16 million Democrats didn't fucking vote. Anyway.
But another thing on top of that's disgusting.
Our next skill.
We're so good at pivoting.
Is Yulia getting fucking corn cobbed spears, getting corn cobbed in the eardrums. Oh,
you
know what?
God.
That was
corn on the cob sounds really good right now too.
I know.
Some garlic mashed potatoes with corn on the cob.
But like, would you use the skewers that they used on Yulia if push came to shove? Okay.
But this got to you, huh?
This doesn't like this. Honestly, I mean, it wasn't even a kill. It was just that.
Yeah.
Torture,
honestly, that made me freak out more than anything else. And I think it's because I saw a meme saying something about like me using Q-tips and thinking like, wow, I am the safest person ever to be doing this. I'm like I really trust myself. Like people should like really read on how like good I am at doing this. And I'm like, ugh. I definitely dig in there.
Yeah. I've hurt myself.
Like, good thing. Yeah. I feel like a dog when you like rub their ear. And I'm like,
it's
very good. And so when I saw that happen in this scene, oh my God, I freaked out.
Yeah. Next time you go to clean your ears, you're going to be like.
Well, and they set it up like they keep going back to the eyes. She's putting her contacts in, like they do that
so you think it's gonna be your eye?
Great point.
Yeah. Like 4 times, like 4 close-ups of her trying to put this contact in, and then it switches. But the last time she tries to put the contact in, and her phone rings, and she moves the door and walks out to her little stand there,
right past him.
John Carver, he's standing right there on the edge of the frame.
She doesn't have
it's so cool.
That's one of my favorite. I was so hoping you would mention that.
That was a good
It was
one.
awesome. And then he just right in the ears. Oh my God.
It's a little corny.
little corny.
I'm so pleased.
This kind of bleeds right into our 8th reveal where Scuba and Jessica are driving and they get a call from Yulia's phone, and you see John Carver like with the knife to her throat and everything. And so that's revealed to Scuba because he hasn't seen John Carver yet. And they rush to the house, and there's this kind of like a
scuffle.
That's what I wanted to say. I wanted to say scuffle, but it didn't sound right. So let's go with a scuffle. More like a kerfuffle or a trifle. A trifle.
Trifle's a dessert.
There was a trifle of kerfuffles.
No, a trifle is a dessert. A trifle is a layer.
It's a dessert. But our masked killer in Hush also realized that Maddie was not to be trifled with.
Oh, you're right. I guess.
But I like where it's a trifle of kerfuffles is a truffle.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Let's stick with that.
So he does the truffle shuffle.
And Yuli, after some kerfuffling, trifling, Yulia gets pushed onto the Yulia gets pushed onto the fucking
poor Yulia.
table
She
saw.
gets it. I would argue gets it the worst in this movie.
Yeah, like
don't
her
know,
hand
there's-
hits first, and her fingers get cut off.
Well, she gets the
And then-
ears and then the hands. It's just like oh god.
It's so drawn out.
And she would have still been alive for a minute too.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
She would-
horrible. And then
And-
Scuba's like, I don't know what to do when he's
Well,
just holding
that
her.
was such a
Yeah.
great reaction, I think, because you talked about like Scuba looking at the glass of blood on the table later, just kind of like looking at it, being like in complete shock. When he gets Yulia off the table, and his reaction, I think, is so great because he's just like very calm, and he's talking to Jessica. He's like, "What do I do, Jessica? Like, what do I do?"
Pure shock.
And it was just like there wasn't screaming. There wasn't. He was just like, I don't know what to do.
That was good.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, that was a good little performance there.
That's what I always say whenever like you're at someone's house for Thanksgiving and they're just like, you see them like not carving the turkey correctly. I
You
always just like
think,
look
what
at
do
someone
I
like,
do?
I don't know what to do. What do I have to do? Should we leave? Because obviously the other reaction to that is just scream.
You know what I think us actually bringing in politics while we have a Thanksgiving episode is perfect.
Oh,
I
yeah.
agree.
Bringing it to the
Yeah.
table.
Bring it to the table.
I mean, yeah, it's the dinner table talk.
Wait, Danny,
It is.
Danny, you've got some brothers and sisters. Are you an uncle by any chance?
Oh yeah, I'm an uncle to 8 kids.
Are you drunk right now?
A little bit.
Okay. So you're the Thanksgiving
It's
drunk
10 in the
uncle.
morning.
It's 10 in the
right now,
morning.
so yeah.
In
I'm the
California.
drunk gay uncle. I'm the drunk gay liberal uncle from San
Yeah.
Francisco.
They're never going to listen to you.
Well, Cody and I were talking about that yesterday. We were literally walking the dog and we were cracking up because we were like, he was like, what happened to us? He's like, I've got a mustache and a pierced ear. You're like growing a mullet. Like we are like such stereotypes of like gay culture in San Francisco. And I was like, yeah, I fucking love
Hell
it.
yeah.
You guys are
I'm
cute.
proud of this.
Okay. Well, now is the Plymouth, Massachusetts Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Our first, oh no, I would say our second official, like, I know what you did last summer reference. The first one I wasn't going to count, but now it definitely stands that the whole like revenge plot of this movie and the opening death scene plays into this. So this is the second one in which we have the two characters sitting on a float during a parade to basically scout for a killer.
Oh,
which
yeah.
is, of course, the famous Sarah Michelle Gellar, Ryan Phillippe scene from I Know What You Did Last Summer. I'm enunciating, listeners, in case you never listened to our I Know What You Did Last Summer.
I know you
I
did
tend
last
to
summer.
not say all the words for some reason. My brain doesn't want to say.
Yeah.
What do I always miss?
You usually say, I know you did last summer.
Yeah. Okay.
I know you did last
I'm
summer.
very proud of myself.
No, I know you did last summer.
I know you did last
No,
summer.
you did last summer.
You did last summer.
But this parade is pretty wild. You get, the dude who was Amanda's husband, Gina Gershon's character, at the beginning. He's protesting Right now. So he jumps out in the parade. It kind of stops everything. And meanwhile, John Carver is now in a clown suit because he knows people are looking for him.
Did you know that was the killer when you saw the clown in the parade?
I mean, when he cut off the turkey's head, I did. Yeah.
Well, no, because I saw
Before
a
that.
shot of him in the parade, and I was like, my brain was so
out
wired
of
to
place.
just it was like, oh, not he's clearly just some dude dressed up.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
because and then they're showing like those people dressed as John Carver that are walking around.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because it's the
So
parade.
you're looking for him.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you would think your brain would be like, that's weird, but for some reason it just didn't register.
Well, I didn't even notice the clown until he comes around with the axe and swipes at the.
Which, how could you get away with it? Like,
Yeah.
there's
Right.
supposed to be people know that it's like bait, and he just goes out there,
Because
starts
he's
murdering
Yeah.
people.
the sheriff.
and- I know, but like, where are the other cops?
Oh yeah,
What do
or
you
they
mean?
like, where's the
Right.
sheriff? Where's our boss?
Yeah, but that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. He has I mean, y'all act like a police officer's never killed people before. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
point.
Yeah, but where are they? That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. But he knew that they weren't going to be there. That's why he
wasn't he
was able to.
Weren't they supposed to? Like, that
The
was
police?
the whole point, was to.
There was
like,
police walking around.
Yeah.
I'm confused.
The sequel, so they have greenlit a sequel. They should reveal in the sequel that there was in fact multiple. And what if it was
I
his
feel like
whole
there
like
had
police
to
force?
be.
Oh yeah.
I
Maybe
feel
they
like there
will.
had to be.
Yeah. But regardless whether the police should have attacked him or not, like they didn't, but he chops off the kid. It's a kid. It's like a high school kid in a fucking
They're all
turkey
high school
costume.
kids.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. I guess they are still in high school. But this one was worse.
This one was willing to dress up and embarrass himself.
Yeah. But he chops off his head, and then something happens with the floats and the cars, and like it rams the back, and the big, it's like a pier, I guess, from a float boat,
Okay.
slams in through the back of the car and just busts through that guy's face, and his nose comes
So
off to the
good.
side, and the kids are screaming and blood everywhere.
Yeah. It's good.
But then one of the deputies gathers up all our main characters and puts them all in a car, and the clown comes in with his tranquilizer darts and
we should mention that this
Puts
is
them all
our
asleep.
official 9th monster reveal
Yep.
because
the parade.
sees that. Yeah.
Yep. And one of them, Kathleen, the stepmom, gives us our 10th reveal because she wakes up on this table she's being seasoned, right? She's getting butter put on and salt and pepper.
Oh, man.
But she wakes up and she sees John Carver, and she kind of pretends to be asleep because she doesn't know what's going on. And
Do you think that's what turkeys do when you're buttering them up and stuff? They look over at you. I know they don't have a head.
their
but
eyes
just
open.
they're like,
Yeah.
She almost got out of there. Like, for someone who was
Yeah.
supposed to be like so hated, like she definitely fought harder than most of the characters.
mhm.
Yeah.
And it was so close. It was so close.
I love it when he spears her, though.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny that they
it's great.
you're gonna get they tell you she's gonna get baked alive, so you're like, I don't know, like you can be a jerk, but I don't know if anyone deserves this. So
That
they
would be
keep kind of
awful.
like giving her,
Yeah.
it's so bad.
That's the
Well,
worst.
she is the reason the store was open.
Exactly, and they keep reminding you, like, no, you hate this person. We have to justify it as much as we can. Like, even when they meet the cheerleader, she meets the cheerleader in was it a fridge or a closet?
It was a
It was
fridge.
a
She's still
refrigerator.
alive,
He was
and she's
keeping
just
her,
like
yeah.
closing the door on her. I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
god, you're so mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she discovers the lair too, and then runs downstairs and she gets speared.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's put in the oven. And this is really disgusting, but I found myself wondering, how long would it actually take to cook a human to 165 degrees?
Mm.
Okay, well, when they were like carving her
I
like
think about
leg
this all the
meat,
time.
I was
Yeah.
like, what would it look like?
What
kind of, I was like,
what
would
kind
it
of
look like
research
turkey?
did we do
Like,
for
what,
this?
What kind of meat would this look like? And then it didn't look good.
Yeah.
So I was
No.
like, maybe I don't want that.
No,
Look
okay.
dry.
We're good. We're good.
Too dry for me. That's why I wouldn't eat it.
Yeah. Well,
It's the only reason.
in our intro, I wondered if 350 degrees was researched. Would that be what we set our temperature to? Did we notice what John Carver set the oven to?
Mm-mm.
No, I just know 350 is usually like the generic like temp for most things.
What do
that
they
I
say in
bake,
Hot
so.
to Go? Baby, do you like this beat? It's like a
350.
99 degrees. Wait, what is it? It's like 100. Maybe she just says 199 degrees.
She says.
I think she's just rhyming something. It has nothing to do with
No.
Thanksgiving. Come on,
You mean Hot to Go
Chapel.
isn't about Thanksgiving?
No.
I got the lyrics pulled up, but it's like 199 degrees.
That's it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're never
Okay,
going to
then
cook a turkey in that, chaperone.
I think 350 is pretty.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
Chaperone
do-
needs to bone up on her
You do 350 for things that are
human
bigger.
cooking.
I guess
skills.
if you want the turkey to really kind of cook in there for a while, maybe 350 is too hot. I don't know.
No.
Oh.
350 is good. 350 is good
Yeah.
for things like that because if you go too high, then the outside cooks really fast and the inside's not done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I
you
wonder
wanna
how
crisp
long she was in
skin.
that oven.
Well, probably a long time.
Oh yeah, that would.
Mm-hmm. Damn.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway.
Kathleen. Anyways, Kathleen gets baked. That's our 10th reveal. And now we're getting to the end here. Our 11th reveal is the big dinner scene that we've been setting up all along throughout the movie.
Mhm.
And we got everybody at the table. Oh my God, when the fucking dad pukes with his
Yeah.
gag
Oh,
on.
God,
With the gag
yeah.
in.
Yeah, that was.
Oh, I can't. That was so nasty.
Those are the moments when you're like, okay, it's an Eli Roth movie. He is so
Yeah.
happy to gross you out.
Oh,
You know,
but imagine, like, even being that actor, just to have to do
I
that
know.
with like whatever's in your mouth, and then you got to
Yeah.
put that on, then like push it out.
Do you think
Oh.
do you think it was like a tube that they kind of?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Mm,
This doesn't really have anything
Yeah.
to do with these scenes, but like Rick Hoffman is so good at like being this smug fucking piece of shit.
It's
Like,
his
Totally.
smile,
Dude, he's
It's
such
crazy.
a dick. He just looks like
What
such
was
an
he
asshole.
He is
Was
good
it-
at it. but he's
wasn't he in
crazy.
Hostel?
He wasn't.
Yes, he was in Hostel.
He was
Oh, he
in
was.
Hostel.
Yeah.
Hostel
Yeah.
2 is good, by the way. Has anyone else
I
seen
like Hostel 2.
Yeah,
I prefer Hostel 2 over 1.
I preferred it
Mhm.
too.
Yeah, like around the time of Hostel, it was when I kind of like, because I grew up on horror movies. Like that was like, my bread and butter. Man, so many food references.
I want bread and
But when
butter.
Hostel came out, I kind of like tuned out of horror movies for years because I was just like so sick of the torture stuff.
I saw Hostel 1 with my dad.
I went with my mom, and it's one of her favorite movies.
What?
Oh,
Really?
my mom loves
my
Hostel.
God.
Yeah, it's weird. And Inglorious Bastards. My mom loves Inglorious Bastards.
I saw.
Huh,
Okay, wait.
interesting.
Yeah,
Wait,
see,
I have to put this in here. I know we keep getting off track, but I saw Inglorious Bastards the night of Thanksgiving, and it was a Thanksgiving. I got in a huge fight at the family. It was fucking awful, and the only thing that made that day good is Inglorious Bastards.
All right.
Was ironically
Okay.
remembering how handsome Eli Roth is in that movie.
Oh, so hot, the bear Jew. Oh, God.
Yeah, but I saw that the night of Thanksgiving. Crazy.
That's like a whole full circle moment there, Brooke.
Yeah.
It
Oh.
is.
Okay,
All right.
so Rick Hoffman
Barfing.
doing nasty stuff in his mouth.
Mhm.
I might need some refreshing here because this is where I started
Yes.
to fall asleep
Sure.
on my second viewing.
We're at the dinner table scene, correct? Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So John Carver, we find out that he's like streaming this, isn't he?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And he's got like he's got like a little
A microphone.
little microphone with like
Yeah.
a little windscreen on the
He
end.
wants to
and it
make
just
sure
looks
everyone
funny.
can hear him.
Yeah, it's so funny.
He's a pop
Um,
star.
But I think Jessica uses like that little thing that McCarty gave her, the little
Hold on,
knife.
hold on.
Oh,
He
okay.
smashes Evan's head in with
With a meat tenderizer.
with the meat tenderizer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And he said he
Yeah.
has that great line. He says, to go viral, you really got to hit people over the head.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's pretty
Yeah.
good.
I liked Evan's character. I kind of wish he would have lived. Like he was a tool and like a fucking
Yeah.
douche, but just
Well,
like
yeah, he was an over
he's
exaggerated.
kind of like McCarty. He's got like that charisma where I was just
Mhm.
like,
Totally.
okay, you're fun to watch. Like
Oh yeah, I liked
kinda
all.
helped
I
me make
liked a
that.
lot of the characters in this movie. I thought everything
Yeah.
was
McCarty
really well
survives this, right?
yeah.
done. Yeah,
I
'cause he was
feel
part
like
of the
he's going to
massacre.
be that
Yeah.
one character who's like the through line for the sequels, right?
Oh,
always
that
gonna
would
have
be
the
cool.
McCarty scene. And
He
Yeah.
wasn't in the. He didn't go to the.
No,
no,
Yeah,
he wasn't
right,
even.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
he
right.
just
Yeah.
Okay.
he was last time we see him, I think, is at his house when he gives him the gun.
Okay.
No, that's false.
The
we
ring,
see
the ring.
the ring. Yeah.
Mhm.
When Jessica's getting on the float, he gives her the ring.
right.
And
Yeah,
then we
so
we do see him in the parade as he's playing his guitar
His
on
guitar.
Plymouth Rock.
Yeah.
he's so cool.
I'm very
But,
conflicted about this character. I want to like him. but
Plymouth
he's
Guns
yeah.
Ammo.
horrible. Yeah.
But then
Okay,
I
so
feel like
yeah.
that's
he
how people
smashes.
think of anyone who doesn't live in America. That's probably how they see us. They're like, damn it, he's so endearing and funny, but wow, his values in every wrong place imaginable. But he's fun to watch.
Oh,
So after
God.
he smashes Evan's head, then Jess uses the ring
Then okay.
to cut herself free, and then she passes it
I
to
wrote
Scuba.
here, Jessica and Scuba escape. Patrick Dempsey is probably the killer. And then the next line, Patrick Dempsey's the killer.
Yeah, he gets. They're chasing him. They find out that they're under the old John Carver house.
Oh yeah.
And in the house there, he gets Scuba with the axe.
Mm-hmm. But he just gets him in like the arm, right? He doesn't kill him because
he
Scuba
lives, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then the whole Bobby situation.
My only criticism, I would have liked a little more action in this like historical village that they set up.
Oh, okay. Like a
just
like
aesthetically, it was cool. Like take us back in time, kind of, but not really. Yeah, but that's
and then Jess thinks that Bobby's the killer because she sees him take the John Carver mask off.
So wait, why did he have that on?
So the sheriff drugged him, dressed him up, and was planning on shooting him to set him up as the killer.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So we're watching Bobby wake up and being like taking it off and being like, what the fuck?
Oh, that actually brings up a question for the beginning in the first diner scene where all the kids are like eating and they see Bobby for the first time in a year. Remember, he's like at the back door.
Yeah.
And then she says later when they actually meet again, she says, I saw you at the diner yesterday. And he was like, oh, I just got in this morning. So what was that all about? That was confusing. Now you guys are all confused because you didn't pick up on that until just now.
I'm even doubly confused because when there were
even how he just like left after was it at the end of the movie, just like.
But maybe is Bobby a secret villain that they're going to bring up in the second one? Because
maybe
when the sheriff goes in, when McDreamy goes in, and you hear the gunfire, and you're like, obviously Patrick Dempsey's the killer. Why are we not seeing what's happening?
Why didn't he kill him?
Why wouldn't he actually kill him?
Yeah.
He has him there. There are gunfires, and then he comes out and then says like, "Oh yeah, I framed him." But and then Bobby's just like, and then also Bobby's very like seems very unaffected by the end. He's like, "Going back to school. See you. Bye."
Yeah.
Well, going back to Zach's thing, do we know for sure that she saw him?
Because
that's the thing is we're setting him up as like a liar because
you just see like the curly hair and he goes out like the back door.
So no, and, we don't know for sure.
No,
but we're supposed to think that it's him because we're like speculating that anybody could be the killer. So we're thinking that he's lying to her about when he got into town.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we're supposed to think he's up to something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess it just depends if she really saw him or not, or if it was like she's having Bobby. It's like a Bobby mirage. You guys ever have a Bobby mirage?
Of course.
Usually.
A barrage.
Having one right now.
You ever have a barrage? I have a barrage of Bobby mirages.
But then,
anyways,
we get another Scream moment.
A collage of Bobby mirages. What?
With the shoes.
Ooh. With what shoes?
Oh, yes.
What do you mean? She realizes
everyone
he's
wears
a killer
black shoes in this town, and
is there like a boot shot?
Come on, Zach. God.
I was sleeping.
Yeah, you were definitely asleep. That's like the one shot where she's like, wait a minute.
She's sitting in the office because she was chased through like these bushes and stuff.
Yeah.
So she's sitting in his office and she's picking off these little burrs off of her.
Oh, that's right.
Her pants. Right. And then she looks at his feet and he has them on his shoes on the bottom of his pants.
What if the sheriff walked in the room and he was just covered in them? Just like gets a lot. Just doesn't acknowledge them. She's like, are you?
He's a bush. He's just a bush. Sorry.
Like they're at the it's just in a bush. So stupid. Like they're in the police officer.
I don't know. I don't even know.
Whatever. They're with there's other police officers there.
Mm-hmm.
Then they just leave, and then Bobby just is the only person that like acknowledges that there's like guns and shit going off. Like nobody, like the cops aren't doing anything.
Secret killer reveals in part 2.
Yeah. Well, that goes back to the parade too. Like what the cops weren't doing their jobs.
All right, we're calling it right now. Eli, if you're listening to this right now, and I know you are, sorry for spoiling it.
Even if they're not, they may have just been knowing what he was up to.
Yeah. I mean, that cops do that shit.
They do. Like, there is real corruption.
Keep it in the fam.
Yeah.
Keep your mouth shut.
The blue line is thin.
Okay, so then, Jessica finds out that it's Sheriff McDreamy, and that's our 12th reveal. And our 13th and final reveal is Bobby finding out that it's Sheriff McDreamy.
I did want to actually point out really quick. I forgot I wrote this. A little bonus, which I guess is an honorable mention, but it also is a reveal, but it's not official. Is everyone watching Jessica's live stream?
Oh,
when he's revealed.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, I forgot I even made that note, which is funny because I feel like this would not work for me because anytime I do a live stream, no one watches them. So I'd be like, guys, it's the killer. And he's like, it says 0 views. I'm like, oh, damn it.
Well, this is on the same thing he's been live streaming this whole time.
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
She didn't set up a new one. It's on the same thing he's been doing. She pulls
Zach
the phone.
and I watched this together. We were napping together at the end.
She pulls the phone out of the evidence package.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's why he looks down and sees the. Okay, I remember now.
Can we talk about the best line of the movie?
Please.
Does anyone else remember it, or do I get to say it?
Let me see here.
We don't know what you're referring to.
Oh, yeah, the best line of the movie.
Can we say it together?
Oh.
1, 2.
Wait, hold on. Let me make sure I have the wording right. Does it start with? Okay, let's just go.
Let's just see what happens.
We think it is. Let's just come. All right, I'm committed 100%.
3, 2, 1.
This there will be no leftovers.
Sorry,
was it this year or was it?
Time.
No, was it this year or there will be?
He says this Thanksgiving there will be no.
This Thanksgiving there will be no leftovers.
There will be.
I was really close to choosing the line. That's why I won't be celebrating Thanksgiving this year or any year.
Oh, yeah. So that was another exaggerated high school thing that I loved. Like how he was, and then he slammed his paper on the desk and sat down, and then those girls were like, ah.
He wipes his tears and it's just abs.
Oh, I like that. And he was wiping his tears with his abs.
Yeah, you see his chiseled body.
I really like that.
That's so stupid.
Oh man.
That's funny.
Yeah, there will be no leftovers, except there are leftovers because the killer
he's a leftover.
Disappears. He is the leftover.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he does. Yeah.
We get our third and final. I know. I need to just be proud. I know you did last summer. I don't say it right.
Yeah.
I know you did last summer.
Own it.
Reference.
You don't know the right title. Just own it.
Every I know you did last summer movie ends with a dream sequence where the killer pops up and then it just ends and it's like, well, that wasn't real. So, but okay. So this one does. So this movie opens on a reference. We've got a reference in the middle and we wrap it up with a reference. So great. Also a holiday, a very American holiday. I wonder if that was
the 4th of
done deliberately.
Mm-hmm.
So basically it's the same premise, the same setup of this type of movie. We may as well, have a direct nod. So
cool.
Well, Danny, you're referring to the dream where she goes into the closet because she thinks she hears something, and then he grabs her out of nowhere. His flaming body, he's engulfed in flames, and grabs her, and then she wakes up. I think it would have been really cool if he just grabbed her in flames and then they cut, and didn't have her wake up, because then you
have her catch on fire and then I don't know. He overcooked it though. That would be.
And then the camera pulls back and you find out that her house is actually a giant oven.
like Krampus?
Yeah. And then she's in a snow globe.
Yeah.
Right. And then he's got the snow globe and the thing. Yep.
Yeah. Perfect.
Man. Or it's one of Krampus's. Oh, because Krampus has a bunch of snow globes.
Yeah.
Is it time? Oh my God.
No.
Is it time for the How I Met Your Monster conspiracy theory of the week?
And let me just finish this bite of delicious turkey. Hit it.
You're telling me that NASA is going to kill the president of the United States with an earthquake.
Not exactly the kind of thing a Secret Service agent can just throw himself on top of. The whole Vietnam War was fought over a bit. Howard Hughes lost to Aristotle Onassis. This is the third issue this year. Conspiracy theory.
Whatever you're about to say is going to be correct, so don't worry.
She's in one of Krampus's snow globes.
Yeah, she's in a Krampus snow globe. Oh, Casey, come on.
We're just fucking ruining this.
Man, okay. Is anybody in Thanksgiving that's in Krampus?
No, but it's a holiday horror movie.
Yeah.
And Michael Dougherty, who did I always say Krampus. Is it Krampus?
You can say Krampus.
Also did I say Krampus.
Krampus.
Crumb ass. Ass crumbs. Michael Dougherty's ass crumbs also did Trick or Treat.
Also did what?
Trick or Treat. So
Danny, that's so disgusting.
I
Oh
know.
my God.
So there is a through line of like holiday horror.
Ass crumbs? Would that be like dingleberries?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys, stop saying ass crumbs, please. Stop saying ass crumbs.
Boner.
Boner. Let's bring it back.
Garlic farts, ass crumbs, boner bags. I don't know what else we got.
Yeah, I'm gonna argue, since Krampus was written and directed by Michael Dougherty, who did Trick or Treat, so it's holiday horror. Then you have Eli Roth, kind of like he has some skin in the game. So there is a kind of cinematic universe of Halloween, of holiday horror. So I think it's fair to assume that.
Well, yeah, every holiday horror movie is a snow globe in Krampus's lair.
Including Blood Rage.
Yeah. It's funny because Krampus keeps like he's having his Thanksgiving dinner and he keeps spilling cranberry sauce on the Blood Rage themed snow globe. Anyways.
So wait, okay. So I think that this is the one. There's two ways you can go about the sequel with this. Obviously, John Carver the guy just survived and he's going to come back. Or he is burnt and he was saved and he comes back. Or go all in and he dies in the fire and it is now the ghost of John Carver. Make it, just lean into this, just be supernatural. Like, of all movies to do that, like, this is where you do it early in the franchise, commit, and then he can kind of be on the same holiday horror movie level as like Sam and Krampus and all that.
Sure.
That's my pitch.
Well, it's funny that we talk about this being like Scream-esque, and that's where I want the Scream franchise to go. Yeah. Because I am so sick of just like, oh, it's going to be somebody who is tied to so-and-so's past, and they just like
look,
come
Danny
back.
is like, excuse me.
Like, I love the Scream movies.
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
I love the Scream movies, but it's just like, you know,
it is. It's tired.
It's kind of, so like, I want there to be like some kind of spin in a different direction.
Friday the 13th even did that. Everyone always thinks of Jason as being this supernatural character, and he is, but not until part 6.
They also went to space. I mean, they've done plenty of things.
Like, I agree.
Is 7 going to be Ghostface in space?
I wouldn't mind.
Space.
It would be cute if they did like a scene where like someone's on a plane, so we're like kind of getting closer to space. So I have like a dead scene, just like we're almost there.
But yeah, anyway, I just want that little bit of like some kind of new element to the Scream franchise. But anyways,
I agree. They need to zhuzh it up.
Just a little zhuzh. But guys, that is Thanksgiving. We have successfully managed to navigate a Thanksgiving dinner.
The cranberry sauce. We're having mashed potatoes. Yeah, the turkey looks great. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for being there. Everyone's thanking us and thanking you. Thanking us, thanking you.
Is that a Thanksgiving song?
Yeah, it's from Bob's
a
Burgers.
Bob's Burgers Thanksgiving song. Yeah.
I was like, did I not know that there's a Thanksgiving song?
Okay, well, now it's time to pick our favorite reveals in Eli Roth's. Eli Roth's. I'm changing his name. And now it's time to pick our favorite reveals in Eli Roth's Thanksgiving.
What's going on here? I don't see anything anywhere.
That's how they get you. They're under the goddamn ground.
Okay. Speed round recap of official reveals. We got the diner sequence with Lizzie. We've got John Carver on the security tape. Manny loses his passport and his head.
There's so many good ones.
Cheerleader gets killed on the trampoline. Evan and Gabby get kidnapped. Jessica goes to the high school hair salon. Yulia gets corncobbed. Scuba sees Jesus Christ on the phone. I mean, John Carver. I wrote JC, so I got confused, as one does.
Jesus Christ.
Amen.
The parade. Kathleen gets baked. The dinner scene. And then Jessica and Bobby find out it's the sheriff. So that's a lot of reveals. What is your favorite reveal in Thanksgiving? Casey, let's start with you since this was your pick.
Oh, it's the parade.
The parade's your favorite reveal? Okay.
Yeah, because it's it's the most unexpected.
Sure.
You know?
Sure.
Madness.
Is there an element of the parade that is so unexpected that it got you? Like, is it the clown? Or is it like the thing through the guy's face? Or is it just like everything?
It's the clown part because just because like you're looking for John Carver.
Yeah. Okay.
And then again, like this clown does not belong there. But
That's true.
You don't think about that. You don't think about that because you're looking for John Carver.
Yeah.
This is a great pick, Casey, because this is the most like Thanksgiving-y reveal because it's kind of got a little bit of everything. Like, do I want to pick stuffing as my favorite? Is turkey my favorite? Well, this one's got everything. People are impaled, shot,
clown,
ran over. You got it all.
Yeah.
Decapitated.
Brooke, what about you? What's your favorite reveal in Thanksgiving?
Kind of between two. Honestly, I think the opening scene, now that you pointed out that like it sounds like he's like breathing in a mask.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even think about that before, and you pointing it out is actually really great. So I'm going to say that one.
Okay.
Really great.
Yeah. Now,
really
I definitely
great.
want to go back and check out that and, and hear that because that's cool. Watching it the second time, like knowing that he was the killer, I was like, oh, I love this POV shot going up and then the door opens and it's him.
Yeah.
The breathing is really cool that I didn't catch.
Because there's a lot of misdirection in this movie. Like, especially with the kills, there's a lot of misdirection. Like, especially with Yulia's scene. Like you said, like you think she's going to get in the eye, she gets the ear. You think he's going to slit her throat, he throws her into the saw. Whereas that opening is like a double misdirection where it's misdirecting you because you're thinking it's that, but then you're like, oh, it's not. But you're like, but it is. But
it is,
yeah. Danny, what do you got?
So I thought I knew what I was going to pick, and then I kept like changing my mind. So I think I am going to go with, it's not my favorite reveal of the character to another character, but it's the way everything kind of plays out. I love it's the Manny scene. Because there's a great button at the end with like the cat. So it kind of, it adds some dimension to who the killer is. And it's a little revealing without telling you anything, which I appreciated. So I'm going to go with the Manny reveal.
Okay. I was stuck between the Manny reveal and the cheerleader. Just because the cheerleading is like, it's so awful and it makes me cringe. But I do love that in Manny's scene when it's a jump scare because with the cat, with Dewey, like you think he's in the kitchen because Dewey kind of like looks over and you think he's like,
well, he even says, she's like, tell me where he is. And the cat kind of looks. So it even tells you like, is he there? So your eyes and then bam,
he jumps out from behind the table and gets him in the stomach. But like when he chops off his head and he turns and he does like that, like I mentioned it earlier, like a hero pose, and it's just like the camera pushes in on him, and I loved that. So as much as like, and the cheerleading scene goes back to the original trailer that this was.
That's true. That's
the inspiration for and all that stuff. So, but yeah, I got to go with Manny because it's that.
Wow. Okay.
It's just. And the little Carver in his belly, like when he leaves, it's still like jiggling around. Like, it's so gross. Now it is time for a segment that we like to call The Real Monster.
Run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man.
You're a monster.
I'm not the monster here. You are. You and the rest of that fairy tale trash poisoning my perfect world. Now tell me, where are the others?
Eat me!
Brooke, do you want to kick us off for a real monster?
I mean, I guess it has to go with the whole point of, why there was revenge and everything, but corporate greed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's my real monster.
I mean, capitalism has popped its dirty old head up in this podcast quite a few times. So
it is my real monster.
Yeah.
That is
capitalism. Yeah.
Capitalism. Yeah.
Bringing it back. It's been a while, but.
And mine is kind of an extension of that. It is Black Friday shoppers. Not everyone.
The
I'm
consumers.
not saying everyone. But you know who you are. If you had just heard me say that and you were like, what? I don't know. It's probably you.
Oh, it's you.
So you, if you're listening, you are the real monster.
Okay, guys. Well, I actually have 5 real monsters.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
But I'll be quick. Number 1, obviously, Black Friday, consumerism, capitalism, all that, like we talked about. Texting during movies is another. When they are in the beginning, before the Right Mart thing, Evan takes them to Right Mart because he needs to get a phone so that he can text during the movie. And that is just wrong. I have hypocrites, right? Which, we talked a lot about the election during this episode, and people saying they care about you and then voting against your rights is just awful.
It's a bummer.
But the hypocrite in this one is Lizzie, the waitress at the diner, who tells the group when they say they're ready to order, Lizzie says, you're going to have to wait your turn. This isn't Right Mart.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she was the one at Right Mart, like
She's
pushing to get in and killing people. And anyways, hypocrites.
Horrible.
And the last 2 actually come from Yulia. It's
Yulia. What have you monster?
Yulia Gulia.
The one who suffered the most. I'm just kidding.
I've got Yulia's earmuffs. Those were just
that's
awful.
Funny.
And then, a lot to do with Yulia's ears, actually. My last real monster is Yulia for using the same side of the Q-tip in each ear.
That's funny.
Oh.
She put it in this ear. And she
maybe it was really
here.
clean, and she was like,
I don't know. Maybe that's just like a me thing, like being a little bit of a germaphobe, whatever.
No, you're not
always
cleaning
use the
it.
other side. I'll use the other side and in the other ear.
No, I use one part for the inside, turn it around to do the rest of it.
Okay.
And get a new Q-tip for the other ear.
Gotcha. Okay.
I like that. Yeah, like clean up the remnants. Find the stragglers. Little waxy stragglers.
The butt crumbs, if you will.
The butt crumbs. Yeah.
Sometimes butt crumbs find their way to your ear canals. It's like it's the butthole of your head.
Okay. Anyway.
Ears. The butthole of your head.
One emits sound, one takes in sound.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. Now for our last segment of the show. Would you survive Thanksgiving?
And here we go.
Would you survive Thanksgiving? Yeah, we all would.
I mean, we're all going to have to coming up.
Especially this year.
No, but we all would survive this scenario because we wouldn't have been at Right Mart in the first place.
That's true.
I have 2 answers for this. I wrote yes, because I wouldn't be caught dead at a store on Black Friday or alive. But if for argument's sake, if we did go and we were like on the target list of the killer, no, because I would be eating a lot during this time of the year,
slowing you down,
napping a lot, and I'd be very distracted.
Oh yeah,
I would not see the killer coming.
Yeah. You'd be like that one cop who's supposed to be protecting Yulia's house, and he like gets the food, and he like right in the back. Casey, Brooke, survival rate for you?
Oh no, I wouldn't be there.
Yeah, okay.
I wouldn't be there, but if I'm really strong and fast,
you're impossibly fast
and smart. So I'm pretty sure I would outrun, outwit, outplay John Carver.
Okay. Damn.
This is Survivor.
I would survive just because, like you said, I wouldn't be at Right Mart. But if I had happened to be dragged to Right Mart by friends needing something and I was in that situation,
I'd be trying to help people.
Yeah. But just like if I was being hunted by John Carver, I think he'd get me. I don't have the reaction skills like Jessica
Same.
does, like she sees him in the thing and she ducks. Like I get scared of my own reflection in the fucking thing. And so,
Yeah, if I saw that, I'd be like, I don't remember this wallpaper on my phone of a man behind me.
like, what is that?
When did I change that?
Why is it moving? Is that an axe?
Yeah. Oh God. Okay. Well,
Guys, I thought we should end this episode with what we're thankful for.
let's do it.
And do we want to keep it specific to the movie? Or just in general?
I don't know.
Maybe both.
Brooke, what do you think?
Oh, God.
No pressure.
A little bit of both.
Okay.
I'm thankful for you guys. You're so great. You do such great work. Congrats on the podcast. Amazing. Beautiful.
Oh.
Beautiful people.
Oh,
Thank you.
God.
Thank you.
Also thankful for Patrick Dempsey aging. What?
Oh,
Beautiful.
Because he's
Yeah.
sexy?
He looks so good.
I would let him kill me.
I'd trust him too much.
He'd be like, I'm the killer. I'm like, no, you're not.
Yeah, kill this.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Kill this pussy.
Murder this pussy.
This.
Oh,
It's like, I'm going to
God.
skewer you. I'm like, stop it. I'm blushing.
Stop it.
Stop.
With the mod joke. What?
Oh God.
You can baste my face.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was like, wait, the base my turkey. Oh, the obvious one. He can stuff me.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Nice.
Okay. You
Okay.
guys, your turn.
I was gonna say that I'm thankful for all you guys. For real. Brooke took that from me. But
It's okay. We can all be thankful for the same
yeah,
thing.
you
Just
guys are
pick
my
me.
buds and I love you guys.
Yeah, actually, we're saying this, but we're really all just thankful for Danny. That's true.
Just Danny, but I have to say Brooke and Zach because they're here. So thankful
Well, you
for you
stole
guys.
my answer, so not really original. But
No, you're
thank
right.
you.
It's not. I
Yeah.
never said that I was good at thinking on the spot. But I am thankful for Eli Roth and just his movies that I love so much.
I love
Yeah.
that.
I'm thankful
Okay.
for gore. I'm thankful for torture porn, like Hostel.
I love that for you.
Thank you.
I'm thankful for porn.
I am thankful for you guys, obviously.
Stole my answer again. But
She's like, I'm taking this back. I'm not thankful
I am
anymore.
thankful to Brooke specifically for continuing to join us on this show.
But then you gotta be thankful for me because she's my best friend.
Okay. Thank you. I'm thankful for cats always giving away the position of people. I think Dewey tried. Like he kind of he tried.
He's cute.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful for the minority of Americans who voted the other way.
Hell yeah.
Amen.
Who voted to
Nice try, but
yeah. Yeah. Danny, what do you got?
All right, I want to shake things up a little bit.
okay.
I'm thankful for you guys. Stealing everyone's answer. No, I am. I love this podcast. And Brooke, I'm very thankful for you for being a guest on this episode
Well,
and
thank you for
previous
having
episodes.
me.
Of course. And of course, future episodes. Now it has to be food related, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking we should have you on for like music related, but that ship has sailed.
It's just
You're on
food
for
now.
episodes.
Yeah, she would
Then
not
I-
have been a fan
no.
of Phantom of the Paradise. Just
Then
throwing
you-
that out there.
If you guys ever do one on Smile 2, have me
That's
back for that
okay.
one.
That'll be the
Because
outlier.
that was the most accurate representation of just like a musician and what
Okay.
I would think that a celebrity actually has to deal with. And yeah, so
Okay.
Okay.
but
Okay.
continue. Sorry.
Interesting. All right. You've heard it here, folks. When we do Smile 2, and we will do it someday, Brooke will be back. As far as the movie goes, I'm grateful for the practical effects and for committing to it.
I actually had that on there, Danny, at the practical effects. I thought I was thankful for
It's
that too.
They're great. And I know I kind of have a quote unquote reputation on this podcast for being the softer of the hosts when it comes to horror and gore and all that. But I do love my gore. It's just the type. This is a great example of the type of gore that I like. When it's not that it's played for laughs, but you can laugh. You can have fun with it because it's so over the top. That's great.
Yeah, it's over the top, but it's not like overzealous in the way. It's not like it's not lingered on for a really long time. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
We're torturing the characters, not the audience.
Right.
Essentially.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Okay, so that is our first entry in our Season's Creepings triple feature. Danny, tell us what we're going to be watching next for Christmas.
We are going, we're going to be doing a classic Christmas holiday classic, Guillermo del Toro's Cronos.
Classic Christmas. When I think Christmas horror, I think Cronos.
It's okay. So it's not your traditional Christmas movie, but it is a horror movie set during Christmas. And Guillermo del Toro went out of his way. We'll maybe post a screenshot of his tweet when he said, someone on Twitter had posted images from the movie and was like, is this a Christmas movie? And he put in all caps, he's like, Cronos is 100% a Christmas horror movie. So when I saw that, I was like, we have to.
Straight from the man himself.
But yeah, we'll be doing Cronos just in time for the holiday season, Christmas.
Awesome. Well, I am looking forward to that. I have not seen the whole thing. I've seen pieces, so I'm looking forward to watching that. Brooke, thank you again for joining us on this episode. Where can our listeners find all three of you guys on social media?
At Brooke Surgener, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, awesome. Anytime. Casey, you got to unmute yourself.
Oh, you're muted. Can I speak for her?
Wolfmother Casey. Wolfmother Casey. Is that how I sound to you? Is that how I sound to you? You can find me on Instagram at Wolfmother Casey. Is that better?
Wonderful. Danny, where can our listeners find you on social media? Don't say butt crumbs.
You can find me on various socials.
I'm changing all my handles to butt crumbs.
Yeah, you can find me at butt crumbs. Oh, I get a lot of M&M butt crumbs, and you're about to find out why. You can find me on various socials at my name, Danny Salem. That's DANNYSALEMME, 2 M's like the candy. Melt in your butt, not in your hands.
Wonderful. And you can find me on social media at Zach Winsek. And thank you all for listening. Now go meet some monsters.